There's a reason I don't drink Jack Daniels as an adult.
Yeah, this is the rum is Kraken.
You
Yeah,
unleashed
but
it?
what's it called? I know you like it. It's bloody Kraken Mite.
His
but, like,
his
what's it
joke was
called
better.
by?
His joke was definitely better. We have that in the house. Is it good?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a nice spiced rum.
I would assume it's good because Joylene said, "Yeah, well, I'm getting that for the bar," and she's upgraded the bar since you were last here. By the way, she moved things into the dining room. They're now on bookshelves, which is very strange, but but there's a lot of good stuff over there. She bought a pretty good tequila and made a tequila sunrise for me that was very good, and I liked it better once we mixed it up.
I have some really fancy rum that I have not yet
Oh,
drank straight, which I should do at some point.
Do you chill? You chill your rum?
No, I leave it out. I should chill it though, shouldn't I?
so you leave it over easy or
My
over
my
hard
grandmother
or
would call
down
that
to
hot.
business?
She would like she'll like want a seltzer water, and I'm like, do you want one from the fridge or do you want? No, it's like, no, I'll just drink it hot. It's like,
Did she
no.
ever work at a convenience store? Because that's what they call it at a convenience store.
Well,
if you don't...
she's from Texas, so like
Yeah.
if you did take something from the shelves, and
It would be
she's-
hot.
And she's from the 30s, so
Well,
yeah.
that is the thing they would say. Like, I'm from
It's
North
a dry
Carolina,
heat though.
and that's the way they would talk about it. They would say,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you want a hot it would be like a hot."
Yeah,
soda.
that-
I haven't heard that in a while though.
Yeah.
I remember that from convenience stores. Like if you, they always charged you more if something was refrigerated as opposed to buying like a warm or a
Wow.
hot 6-pack. Yeah.
Though there was a thing though where people would actually like heat up Coca-Cola and like put stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that when it was used for like medicinal purposes and shit?
I don't even think it was that long ago. Like I think this is like post-cocaine Coca-Cola.
Can't have much of a Coke and a smile without the
You know,
cocaine.
yeah, we used to be a country.
Are you saying you want to go back to the way things used to be?
We need to make America the way it was before,
You
which
totally
I
were
think
going for make
personally is
America
great.
addicted to cocaine again. That's where I think
We
you're
never
going with that.
hey, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, baby.
Are you the
Make
voice of
America
cocaine?
gentrified again.
Yeah. let's get that let's get the Contra program up and running
Make
again.
I'm sorry, make
the good old
America
days.
openly gentrified again.
Yeah, now it's yeah.
Hey,
I
Telly,
mean,
how are you?
What? You're so woke.
And
Oh, you're very quiet, Telly.
Barely hear you.
How about now? Any better?
no,
It's a little
No,
better?
It's super quiet.
I think we're hearing you through your
What about
piano.
Now?
I mean, yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Can you give us more?
Are you going through an interface or are you?
I'm going through the interface, yeah.
There we
you are.
go.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just
We're on air.
Oh, you didn't
Are we?
notice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is it, Telly? We're
Hi.
doing it already.
This
It's
is the thing.
Hi,
You
Hello.
were
Hi.
there the whole time.
Rowan's here. Chris is here.
From inside the house.
there's 6 sets of footprints, and you were all. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna carry me through this, right?
Yeah.
6 sets of footprints. We just kept going back and forth and back and forth.
Oh man. And that's the show.
And that's our
everybody.
show.
All right. Good night.
So
See
okay,
you later.
being the audio like guy, did anybody walk Telly through the audio settings?
Not it.
Not on.
Not on StreamYard.
All right, hit the settings sprocket down there.
Word. Okay. Audio.
All
For those of
Audio.
you following at home, you do it too.
Turn off
cancel-
echo cancellation and
Okay.
reduce mic background noise.
So you want me to? So that one's already turned off. You want me to leave it
All right,
off?
good. No, yeah, leave that off. Yeah, and the echo
And then
cancellation.
should I raise the mic volume like that?
No, I
Is
think
it-
you're good
no.
now.
Okay. Now is okay. Well, I'm just gonna put it back where it was then.
All right, cool,
Okay.
sweet.
Are we there?
Yeah.
Is it in?
Oh boy.
How can you tell?
When you're how do you know when you're done if you're from Finland? How do you know when you're
How?
done?
How do you know?
So you're finished.
Good night, everybody.
I gotta.
I got it.
Recording stop.
It's a real shame we don't have access to that too for the feed, just because it'd be more fun.
Yeah, we should just have it as like a soundbite that we can drop.
Oh,
in.
I can make that happen.
We still need. If you're ever going to go back and give us a soundbite, we still need your. I don't know about a parade.
Yeah, somebody we gotta underpay somebody to go back through the VOMs and
We have to get
some
someone
good
to
clips.
pay us to go back through the VOM.
Let's get AI to do it.
Oh God.
I don't want to do that.
You know, it's like, I know, like, I was watching this video, and it's like, yes, actually, people are using AI all the time. They just don't realize it. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But I don't want to, like,
advertisement-
explicitly
Yeah.
use it to, like, make art or
No, that's-
content.
That's just
The advertisements about it, where they
Well-
just try to make it. I'm sorry, Jules. Where they just try to make it so, like, every day and not a big deal. It's like, look at all the ways that AI are helping you. There's a thing over here that's perfectly fine. So don't look over there. Fuck it. No, it's just weird. I'm sorry, Jules. Please go ahead.
it's I probably wasn't gonna say this, but the thing
I know,
that,
fuck you, Chris. I
the-
get it.
Well, no, that goes. That's
Do we take that as-
that was the title I floated for the name of the show. It didn't take.
Rowan, have you heard Joylene's suggestion before we had guests? Her suggestion for
It's
the
a
name
genre.
of the show.
Is my only.
Yes,
critique.
it's true. Her suggestion for the name of the show was Two Assholes Talking.
Okay.
Which-
yeah, that is a genre.
Wouldn't apply now.
No.
That's all I know. There's
But that would be, it'd be two
It's four
assholes and their
assholes
asshole guests.
Assholes and
guest
friends.
assholes. It's not really AI.
I know.
It's a generative algorithm, and like now I remember what I was gonna say.
So that's our
They
time,
use
everybody.
it
Good night.
to yeah, I'm gonna boot you. They use it to make art, which is not art, and they use it to algorithmically determine, like big studios, like David Zaslav. That motherfucker is using ChatGPT or some AI like generative algorithm bullshit to determine what movies to shelve that you've already made that people are looking forward to, and then to be like, hey, reality TV is for women and sports and action movies are for guys, so we're gonna change the name of our streaming service because we focus grouped it to an AI or some bullshit like that.
Spike TV.
You
No.
know, he got a raise.
Yeah, they lost money and he got a raise. Do you have an?
Are, I guess, still a country, so
Hey, we have a society that we live in. Blues, do you have an echo on your voice? A slight one, quiety one?
someone has an echo. I
Yeah.
think it's coming from Telly.
Lick
Telly,
my
are you
balls.
echoing?
No, I hear. I don't know. You tell me.
Hold on.
Were you
I don't-
hearing an echo?
I am
Yeah,
hearing
I'm
an
hearing
echo
it now.
on you. Is there an echo on me?
Yeah.
Yep, there I am.
Like echo. I mean, echo is in like delay, like a, or is it like just a little? We talking like a slapback delay or a full on echo?
It's like 1 second.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
extended
I
slapback.
bet it's coming off of your headphones, actually, or unless you have something, something open like speakers that are.
No, I can turn
Nope.
these off.
Oh, now it's gone away.
Yeah,
He's
it's gone
gone.
now.
He's gone.
I turned my headphones down a little bit. There you go. So it was me.
Okay. Yep.
It's the opposite of that Dave Chappelle sketch.
So it
Because
was
he-
funny? Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, back when he was funny.
Oh.
Yeah. No. That show was funny. The
Is it?
sketches are funny. It's
Okay.
very good. It's still.
It
like-
was.
it's
It
still
was.
quite. It's still some of the best comedy that's.
I saw
that's,
some
like-
bits, and for whatever reason, I never really watched it, and now I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, no, now I mean it's like me with Woody Allen movies. It's like I was putting
Right.
off watching those, and everybody was like,
And
"Oh,
then
he's
you
on
heard the-
tour," and then I heard, and then it's like, Whoo!
And then you wanted to watch it so much more.
No, this is me washing my hands and going like yum yum
And
yum,
getting
yum,
ready
yum, yum,
to
yum,
go
yum.
watch
Yes, I'm gonna
his
eat all the
complete
popcorn
oeuvre.
while watching
Oeuvre.
late period Woody Allen movie, Midnight in Paris.
Oeuvre.
Come and get it. Blue Jasmine.
Are you just looking them up now?
No, I'm just
The-
going by ones that came out when I
The
knew
latter
that he
day
married his
documentary
stepdaughter.
that's just about his clarinet playing.
Oh.
I don't remember what it's called, but it exists.
You know, Hitler used to paint, and he had a dog. So
Did
So
you
it
just
means
make
it's
the first
okay.
Justified reference of the night?
no, not on purpose.
There's
but
a whole thing about a
I
guy
think
with
you
Hitlers.
did. He's
Well,
yeah.
Hitlers.
You keep talking about your Hitlers. Nobody wants to see your Hitlers. It's a guy who
But we
collected
barely
Hitler
made it
paintings.
10 minutes in before we broke Godwin's law.
Listen, hold up. Chris,
What is Godwin's
Chris
law?
is admittedly half for the culture, so I need you to like not talk about his chosen people like that.
Where are we going with this?
I think that's just a further reference to the Hitler thing, and then
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
mean,
like-
how many really were killed?
it's a. Hey, I've already look. Scooty and I disagree on a lot of things.
Scooty's a war criminal. I mean,
Look, he's just friends with them. He's friends
Oh
with the
my God.
bennies.
They
and
hang
you don't
out-
need to ask
they
which
just-
bennies I'm talking
if
about.
somebody goes to shake your hand, you shake their
Jesuit.
hand. You don't know their mob
Exactly.
affiliations.
If somebody
that's
likes
that's a
you-
Frank Sinatra quote, by the way.
if somebody likes you, then you know they gotta be cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can put up with me, you have to be.
You know,
I want to
so-
know how many times Telly is going to change his camera angle tonight.
I'm hoping this might be it. I'm just looking for my good side, and there really isn't one. So
You can stop looking.
I think that we're all going. We're all
Yeah, we're
going like
set.
straight ahead. I think straight ahead works for everybody. We're all going to be really straight. So I think we're just going to get in line with
Did
you.
we just de-blues? And Rowan, you're fine. We get it. You don't have a bad side. Jesus fuck. I don't. So, how long do you think he's going to do this?
Oh, I don't know.
There he is.
My mouse. I dropped my mouse.
Is that what happened?
Eek. Yes, I dropped the mouse.
Have you had a slight loss of focus there, Jules? And also, there's an
I
issue
can't
with
do
the
anything
video.
with this camera. Yeah.
Oh, and I will admit, before we get too deep into the evening, you're right. The Harley Quinn show, while heavy on the ultraviolence, is an absolute joy to watch.
It's a delight.
No, is this the animated?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be in the mood for an insane, just the ultraviolence. It just comes along. It's
Yeah.
part of the story. But once I was in the headspace for it, it's great. We're watching it. I love this. Joylene's like, "There's a bit much." I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's a really fun ride. Carrie jumped in the comments. I believe he's referring to
Gary.
Hey, Carrie.
What's up, man?
I mean,
Yeah, start talking about Dune now.
Yeah, you can kick me out if you want.
I didn't see
drop
it.
me a text when we're back.
Am I like is this like Bizarro World where I'm the only one who's seen?
Yeah, I mean, like
Oh, you
I'd
saw
s-
part 2? You went to the movie?
Yeah, we talked about it.
wasn't there.
You weren't there. We talked about it after the VOM or during the VOM, maybe.
Yeah, I
Before
think I
the
mentioned
VOM?
it during the bomb.
That he had like seen. I don't know if the mouse had something to do with this.
No,
Rowan
no.
famously works for the mouse. Don't look it up.
Not
It doesn't
Warner-
matter.
It's Warner Brothers. What
Doesn't
are you
matter.
talking about?
Doesn't matter. Maybe there's a Roger Rabbit style.
Doesn't matter. Look over here.
Armistice.
Fred Armistice?
Yeah, Fred Armistice. He's a passable drummer.
Yeah, he's a good drummer. He was in pop. I don't know if he's good now, but he was in like actual punk bands and toured. There are
He
pictures
fills
of
in
him.
for Seth Meyers as drummer sometimes. He'll sit in and then he'll do bits.
You can play.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can get it. What? What are we
how
talking
is he
about?
compared
He
to
can
Burr?
get it.
What? Bill Burr?
Yeah, because Burr's
Bill
a drummer
Burr can
too.
really go.
I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was a drummer.
No, Burr's like an actual rock drummer.
No
He'll-
shit.
Yeah, not like makes albums, good rock drummer, but like a guy who has a job, and you get the feeling there's a part of him that wishes he had this other job, but not enough to go for it. He's like, no, yeah, I just play my band. You know how he talks.
What do you want
but
from
no,
me? Come on.
Yeah, but I've seen him on things like they do, like a tribute to Bon Scott every year, and a bunch of comedians get up and play songs, but all of them are like good enough players that it's not embarrassing.
Yeah, no, he
Dean Del
talks
Rey.
himself down, but he can go.
Yeah,
can
no,
play.
he can absolutely. That is correct.
And Steve Martin.
Dude,
Fucking-
killer banjo player.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
He actually
really.
Yeah.
He's got a second career as a banjoist.
That just makes me sad. Like the banjo thing with him, I don't know what it is, but like the banjo, and he was on something specifically to talk about his art collection, and the audience was not fucking happy.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't talk about
Dude,
comedy.
put an
or-
arrow through your head and go nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. That's why I bought a ticket, fucker.
Dance, monkey.
He
Come on.
did apparently he lost a bet with Jerry Seinfeld and had to do stand up again. So he came out and opened for him, having not done stand up
Wow.
for 30 years, and apparently just crushed it.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Was
No, it's more than 30 years. I'm sorry.
was this
However long it's been.
before him and Martin Short had their act that they do where
I think it's a little bit before that. I was entertained by what I saw. That they did a Netflix special.
I mean
wasn't
they have
against
the
it.
show, like the Only Murders in the Building show.
that
It's-
thing.
and it's quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
There were just too many. There were too many references that were only made by and for people who are in the entertainment business. In the first episode, I got very bored.
Oh, because it's all like Broadway stuff.
Yeah,
Because Martin
just all of
Short's
it.
a
Just all of
Broadway
it.
guy in it.
And I
don't know.
like Martin-
I
I
love
like
it.
Martin
I just like watching those two together. And
That's fair.
Selena
I'll have to
Gomez
give it another
fits in just fine. She's got good comedic timing and
She's very funny.
You know, she's a Disney kid, so like of course
Yeah.
she's talented. So
She was run through the mill
Mickey
and
Mouse
survived.
Club. Mickey Mouse Club. She's one of the last like Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse Club.
But she appears to have come through okay. Like some of them,
Yeah,
not okay.
some of her contemporaries even like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift also
they had
is
some
kind
trouble.
of yeah.
Lovato had some trouble, but
yeah.
seems to be doing a lot better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cyrus wasn't actually Mickey Mouse Club though, was she?
No,
No, but she was
Hannah
she was
Montana.
Disney
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But her and Demi Lovato I think were
Am I
or-
missing
or
something?
was- or
Because
were they-
Cyrus
no,
seems to have been doing really well for a long time. Did she go through some shit when she was growing up?
No,
Did I
she
miss
just
something?
like she had the classic rebel trying to escape my image of a Disney starlet
Right.
sort of thing.
And then she did
And
the
then
relationships are difficult song where she swung
she-
on the big thing.
She twerked on Robin Thicke, and
Right. That.
nobody wants that. I just feel bad for her
Speak for yourself.
because okay, you want to twerk on Robin Thicke?
Dude.
He's taking all
Zaddy.
comers.
Come to
They don't
Zaddy.
call him Robin Thin. I'm just saying. Hey. What? That's what got you?
I mean, you don't choose.
I mean,
I'll
dad
say-
jokes, man.
That's very true.
He does have children, so
So it must have managed a couple of times.
yeah. At least twice.
Yes.
So-
That's my explanation. Like, yes, I
Congrats.
have at least twice. I have evidence.
So Rowan, spoiler free, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Is
but,
it about
like,
Dune?
Is there sand?
There's a shit ton of sand.
Okay, but
Is
like
there
too
sand?
much,
I'm
or like
I'm
just
still
enough?
getting it out of my clothes.
Wow, they're that much, even while watching the movie. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
It's one of those 4D boxes that like shakes you and sprays stuff at you.
No, I really liked it. There were a couple of changes that I was just like, whoa, okay, and they weren't bad, but it was just weird, and like they compressed the timeline, So what would have been like a 2 or 3 years thing seemingly was just like a couple of months.
Did
So-
I guess my question is, did it make sense in a larger sense with the first half? That
Yes,
first movie.
it does.
Okay.
Yeah, and like this is not really a spoiler. It picks up immediately where it left off.
It fucking better.
Yeah.
There's no time gap.
How recently did you watch part 1 before going to see part 2?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen part 1 in like at least a year.
That's surprising.
But I did read the book. And to answer Carrie's question, I did not get the popcorn or the popcorn bucket.
No, I was going to say, yeah, you got the bucket.
Yeah.
And is there someone on OnlyFans doing to that what people
You know
imply?
there is,
Oh, of
Chris.
course there
You
is.
don't have to finish the question.
I can get
43,
you a name.
34,
I like,
34.
I like Stephen Colbert's comment on it. Not enough
one?
butter in the world.
I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to get into the logistics. I'm not. You can
So-
freeze butter, and then it'll take a shape. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Well,
you could
next
just
there'll
get
be
like you can get the Easter, like the sheep butter, like it's like carved into the shape of a
You
sheep.
said Easter, and I was like, is he going to go with like the Tengu egg reference?
Jesus,
Tengu-
no.
a
What?
Tengu egg? Like the Tengu Japanese, like a Tengu mask, but an egg?
Wait, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what a Tengu mask
I don't know what
is.
you're saying.
Tengu
I
mask
don't-
is like one of those like demon masks, but they usually have like a big long nose.
Oh, that must be where.
Telly,
it
any
comes from,
thoughts?
then.
You know, I'm just fighting the urge to wave my fleshlight at you guys, so I'm just kind of here for the ride.
All right.
You know.
Thank
so
you,
just
first.
I
Thank
know,
you.
right? I'm some
Such
self-control.
restraint. It's really nice.
Seriously.
It's good to see. It's
Believe me,
growth.
I have so many horrible things loaded, and I'm just keeping them all.
Okay,
bottled up
well, you're
inside.
supposed to wash it after.
Yeah. You don't want to have. Yeah, no.
Do not. It's like
Yeah,
a
no.
cast
I
iron
hear.
skillet.
I hear. Hey, cast iron
Dishwasher
skillet.
safe, man.
That's a song.
Do some stuff and then you'll kill it. What? No.
I mean, don't forget, we're going to talk about penises later.
Later.
We can talk about penises now.
We've already, I think, with the Tengu.
I mean-
Yeah, but I thought I was
thing.
going to hear a story.
Oh,
Shy Halud.
right. Oh boy, that's later. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, that's a good teaser, I guess. I don't know. So somebody.
The teaser
Teaser
indeed.
/ warning.
Yeah. Content warning. Yeah. So does somebody want to play a music? Do you want to do a thing, Chris? You said you had a new song.
I feel like our guests should definitely start it off.
Okay. You guys want to fight to the death to figure out?
This
Act-
is
you wanna
No,
do
one
an
of you should
Agony
yield.
Kai?
You don't have to do that.
so. This is how I decide things. We play rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
So, best out of
But
one.
why do we have to do it with our tongues?
No, we know the tongues. No, just 1, 2, 3, and then you throw, and it makes a lot of decisions for me. So,
Okay.
Rowan, how do you want to do this? You want to do winner plays or loser plays?
Can I just concede? Like, you know,
Sure. Sometimes the decision is made ahead of time. No, I'll tell you a little story. So I got this tattoo because, teaching in Baltimore City for 10 years, I'd hear, Mr. Pandel, don't call my mom. Mr. Pandel, don't give me my homework. Mr. Pandel, can I go to the bathroom even though I went 3 times already? And I'd be like, let's play. The best is when 2 kids want to go to the bathroom at the same time and I make them fight to the death for it. But sometimes one of them concedes or they make the decision. I'm like, great, thank you. You made the decision. We didn't have to consult the great decider. And there's a whole song
George
you can
W.
find
Bush?
called... No. He's decided a lot of things. He won't
the
be fooled
decider.
again. Mission accomplished. All those other great
Fool me
things.
can't get fooled again.
Well, if I'm going to start it off, then let me go with low-hanging fruit and do a short one and an easy one.
I'll say.
All right. Is it coming through okay?
Yeah. Yeah, could have a little more guitar, but I don't know if that's an angle issue. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try. Okay, hold up.
Oh, that's the cool Nashville tuning one, right?
Buff.
Oh, he couldn't hear you.
Oh, he's
Push
not.
this in. Get a little bit closer. All the
is that-
sex talk.
Is that your Nashville tuning one?
This is a little
Cool.
the 3/4 size in the Nashville / tourist tuning. It's good, a little different voicing. Some songs translate well to it, others, not so much. But this one does. This is called. I played it on Monday. It's called "The Tendered Resignation," and I'll pull up a little closer. Okay. What left of my heart aches for you, my friend. trapped in the folly of your arrogance. Some people may never. Oh my God, I'm taking this off so I can hear myself. Sorry. We're off to a great start, gentlemen. What's left of my heart aches for you, my friend. Trapped in the folly of your arrogance. Some people may never change, but their fortunes do, making you the exception that proves the rule. Couldn't see perspicacity, the prescience of that expense, the sleeper, the funeral, and the plague. Our eyes are giving us away. That's a song that I wrote. That's a thing that just happened. There you go.
Hooray! Yay! Whee! Oh boy! All right, Rowan. Yeah, now you do it.
You
do it now.
go. You.
All right. Oh, but I don't have my lyrics up. Ah, crap.
That's
See what
what
you did to me?
paper's for.
I know, but I didn't.
Just want to take this time, everybody, to let you know we're brought to you by Doritos, chips, little time, Doritos.
The most disturbing part of that is the Bill Cosby voice.
No,
I
it's
gotta
not
say.
Cosby. I'm
No,
doing
it was
like
going Cosby, man.
a radio announcer.
That was you went. Then you go Cosby. Very
Once you
easily.
go Cosby, you you don't really remember much.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. Once you go Cosby, what happened?
Who?
So
You
Rowan,
put the Jello pudding pop in the asshole.
If that was all, that would be fine. But
enthusiastic consent, guys. That's what we're talking about here.
Oh, there we go. You knew, but of course you did. Ah, Jesus. Sorry. It's been that kind of day.
1 week, did something, and then you had some other things happen, and we're Canadian.
Embarrassing.
you don't have to play right now if you don't wanna.
Or
I
you can
got
play a
it, I got
different
it.
song if you'd rather.
Or you can.
I got it.
Okay.
You knew, but of course you did. When I got this far with the life you led, always, always on trend, ever the shooting star, always one step ahead. Headed straight for the dark star, too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. some sleight of hand, you soar above the crowd, crane out next to sea. Follow, follow your gaze as we gasp aloud. You make this last decree. A star in the sky, a distant fire, every light a shining eye. Headed straight for the dark star, too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. You slipped away. Well, of course you did. Can only go so far. The sense, the day. One step ahead, like you always are. You'll light the way. Headed straight for the dark star, too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. Headed straight for the dark star, far too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. All right.
Nice.
Got there in the end.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's your David Bowie, your Bowie song?
That is indeed.
Your John Ross Bowie song?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Bowie. Everybody just said Bowie, like the knife. But because his son's name Zowie Bowie.
That's true.
Yeah.
And besides the fact that wasn't his real last name anyway, so
Wait. Just making sure that you're in my, you know, it's called a Bowie knife. You know that, right?
Your
Bowie
Bowie
knife,
knife. Yeah.
Your mom.
Yeah, David Bowie knife. Yeah.
do you know what his actual name was and why he changed it?
Is he Jewish like you? How, you know, jokes aside, how many famous people have changed their last names for that reason? Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oh, a lot.
it's a lot have changed it for like, or because it's too ethnic and they don't.
Yeah.
You know, they want to get jobs, and so it's more likely. Even though systemic racism doesn't exist, and that's
sure.
what the woke mind virus and stuff like that. Your
Bowie,
resume is
luckily-
more likely to get looked at, especially in showbiz, if
Show
you have a white ass Anglo ass name. You know.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's got a really weird, super Jewish name that I can't remember. But yeah, a bunch of people did that.
I mean-
no, the one I was going to say is a lot more like simple. His real name was David Jones, and the Monkees hit as he was turning a professional musician, so he needed a new name.
Because there was already a Davy Jones.
Yeah, an English one even.
And like they got confused because their lockers were right next to each other.
Yeah, what are the odds?
Davy Jones's locker. That first Pirates movie is pretty good.
That one kind of sunk there, because it's water.
I think that's really funny.
Boy, that lag, huh?
at all. Sorry, like 2 seasons of Bane on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Why don't you come down to the pit? for some drinks with me. Oh, no, they all left me. Yeah, sad Bane. It's pretty good. James
should-
Adomian.
Blow all that up. He's a talent.
Yeah.
And fucking Jason Alexander. That's a fun show.
Oh, man, so good. So good. The voice cast is incredible.
And
yeah.
Lake Bell, kind of killing it
Yeah,
as
he's crushing
Ivy.
it as Ivy. Yeah. And the Kite Man guy?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's weird, because I knew that from the comic. I didn't know they did it on the...
Yeah, he's
I didn't know
great.
they did it on there, yeah.
It's so good. So all the character they use, they yum. They use all of the Batman. They use, because Batman has, next to who, like Spider-Man maybe has like the best rogues gallery. The Flash has a pretty good one.
Flash
Superman
has a good,
pretty
and
good
they
one.
have the benefit of being called the Rogues Gallery.
Well, that's true.
Flash.
That's true. Yeah. Or the Rogues. The Rogues.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Who knew that the show that ran for way too many seasons and had too many episodes in every season would be I don't even know how much better than the movie because
We're talking Flash. I
I'm
haven't
not
watched
going to
it.
see it, but boy oh boy, I mean they
You're
spent
totally
like,
gonna watch it.
they spent like $300 million on that shit. They announced the movie before the show even started production, and like, how do you? I mean, you have all the time in the world, all the money in the world.
They could have just put the guy, Grant Gustin, is that his name?
Really,
put
they could have
him
just
in.
done what they did with like Tig Notaro in the.
Or they could have put Tig Notaro in it.
That would be so funny. Tig Notaro should just replace every like
Every
predatory
questionable person,
or person in Hollywood. Just put her in there because she'll kill it because she's
very funny.
She's very funny. Yeah.
It turns out.
I'd watch a movie with Tig
I'd
as
watch
the
the
Flash.
shit out of Tig Notaro as the Flash. Are you kidding? Oh my God.
Just,
She'd
like,
be so great. And they'd have
realizing
to do a
it.
slightly younger, shorter version of
Right,
her.
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. The two Tig
is she really
Notaros.
tall?
Amazing.
No. She's quite short, but like Ezra Miller, may they rest in peace.
I saw
plays,
it. I saw the movie. So yeah, he plays a younger version.
of
okay.
themselves.
Except for that whole black hole of a person, it's a perfectly serviceable superhero movie.
Like oh well, yeah.
Except
I mean,
for the fact that person is in it.
and twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
you
there's
get more
two
than
of
one.
them running around.
Yeah.
That's
No,
wild.
you're not wrong. But I'm saying it's like the weird thing is it's like it's a perfectly serviceable movie that if it had come out when it was supposed to come out, and
Yeah,
that person had
2018. Yeah,
and that person hadn't turned out to be the person that person is,
a terrorist.
it probably would have been pretty well thought of. But as it is,
But had to go and choke somebody in an elevator, kidnap somebody, false imprisonment, be at large in
Wait,
Hawaii.
is this Chris Brown we're talking about?
No,
Oh.
no, but he's another one.
he's a problem.
Another one. No, and this is Ezra Miller.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I know. I mean, I know who that guy is as well. I think he's a guy that, yeah, I never found him terribly funny.
I mean, he's.
I mean, he was good on what was that? What was the show that was really popular when he was popular? This Guy Fucks, right? That was like what he's known for, basically.
Wait,
right?
what are you talking about? No, I don't know
I
if
don't
you're
think
talking about
we're
the same
talking
person.
about the same thing.
Oh no, Ezra Miller is a stand-up comedian. I'm thinking about the guy. Oh, TJ something.
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller.
Oh.
Ha. Called in some bomb threats and did I think like was accused of doing a bad touch on a lady.
Oh.
Yep. Still
Does that mean I
do
get to
that.
play a song now?
still
Yes.
works? Yeah. Yes.
Do you have one about Uncle Bad Touch?
I don't. Although that one coach on that one team sure creeps me out.
Which one?
The one on the winning team.
Wait, the Cheeps?
Yeah. If you watch one of the like State Farm commercials, he refers to chicken nuggets as nuggies, and it really
I don't like that.
it weirded me out. He's like, explain it again, and let me have some of those nuggies. I'm like, I can't touch her.
I don't like that.
I do. I like leaning into super cringe things, like for the sake.
Which part is it that you don't like, Jules? That he gives me that impression, or that
Yeah, give him a chance.
to do it? I don't.
Yeah. Let him get those. Let him get at your nuggies.
I mean, when you put it that way.
Wrong.
Yeah, play a song.
I just fought another urge when he said, "Let me get the nuggies." So I'm just gonna let Chris play
I
a song.
fought
We're
the
gonna-
urge, but the urge won. Hey, I fought. That feels like a Telly part.
Just yeah, you guys are just
Fwazza wazza.
just yeah.
Don't worry.
Did-
We got time.
Did we not
Oop,
warn?
not you.
No, Telly's not playing. Did we not warn Rowan that Telly was going to be here?
Well, Telly was on Monday night, and we
okay.
all talked about it.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm like.
Oh no. So I
I
see.
like
This
seeing
is
Telly.
just a wide way. Oh, I know. I just mean the dumb stuff we're talking.
We're pulling one over on you, Chris. This is a prank show.
Is this all because I didn't show up on Monday?
yeah,
I gave
and,
notice. I gave
and-
notice.
You will be delivered a sandwich that has too much tuna because you're getting
Sound-
pranked with too much tuna.
Sounds a little fishy to me. Is any part of the pickup coming through?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. There could be a little more, just a scotch. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Okay. This is new, and I for one really appreciate both Telly and Rowan pretending to mess their songs up to make me feel better about the fact that I was going to play a new song that I don't know very well. So thank you both. Thank you. No, I mean that's all. No.
You're welcome.
I'm not that much fun anymore. Can't swear it's that different from before. Don't volunteer suggestions or complaints. It's clear what got finished and what ain't. Should have done a lot of things by now. Some other things happened and the time ran out. Should have done a lot of things by now. I have recollections, though they're vague, of times I did more than chase the grave. I could, on occasion, manage to surprise and turn a head or two. I should have done a lot of things by now. Other things happened and the time ran out. I should have done a lot of things by now. Take it easy, not that again. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Like it's easy to take it all in stride and stay quietly in line. It's not all hopeless, to be clear. I just get some feelings there and here. Yeah, I should have done a lot of things by now. Some other things happened and the time ran out. Should have done a lot of things, had more adventures, grabbed more rings. Should have done a lot of things with all the fear and hope they bring. I should have done a lot of things by now. Thank you.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Me too, or do I?
I never know what to believe.
I just I don't even leave room for you to question. I just instantly seed doubt.
I'm sorry you didn't care for it, Rowan. I won't play
Like
it
a
again.
good neighbor.
I let him down.
I clapped first.
Oh,
Let it be known.
let it be known.
And
so I could get out
back, sis.
So I could leave before the encore. I clapped first. I get it.
I mean, that was implied, but yeah.
So are you going to play us a song, Jules?
I think
I'm
so.
slower than normal today.
Long day?
Just tired. It's been a long week. But not bad, just full of stuff.
Full, yeah. Yep, just tuning over here. So,
Let's talk about tuning.
all right. Did you come here for spirit tuning? That's for all my Elden Ring heads in the house.
Oh.
It's that girl you
I
walk
played
up
an
to.
Unga Bunga build because I'm a masochist.
What's that?
It's when you. So I beat all of Elden Ring,
Oh, Jesus.
starting as a character completely nude,
Oh.
no stats, and
Just
nothing
with
but melee the entire
Yeah,
time.
just a club or just
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I geared it out, but no magic, no nothing, just the
boy.
sword and the shield. And I got through the base game. I didn't. I mean, you've played it, so I'm sure you're familiar with. I'll solo her, the guy with the
Yeah.
that guy's. So I didn't fight that boss because I'm a masochist.
No,
but not
I don't
that
think I
much.
got there. I don't think I'm there yet. I'm taking my sweet ass time. I
no,
I
enjoy
just set
it.
the tree on fire.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, no spoiler, just the answer, the extra boss, whatever, the hardest one. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for me and Elden Ring and video game nerd.
So
now.
this is a video game, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
like Dark Souls and From Software is the company that make. They also make the Gundam stuff, which is
They make
actually pretty
Gundam
good.
games?
Yeah,
Do they do it? Do they do it in that style?
Yeah, in Gundam style? Yeah.
It's like true to the Gundam. Like, I'm not a Gundam guy, but it's the latest one they put out was very well received.
Like Robotech Gundam? Or
yeah,
not
yeah.
I
joking,
mean, they're
but-
similar. Robotech
it's not,
transforms, Gundams don't transform.
But the difference being that this game, the Gundam game, it's not hard for the sake of being hard, which is
Right.
what Dark Souls
That's
are.
not like them.
Dude, now you got me on a tangent. There's a guy who found he coded a way to make his goldfish beat Dark Souls.
I mean,
He was like the tank, where the fish swam in the tank, the AI would find the orange or whatever, and that would correlate to casting spells and drinking potions. And it literally, dude, people have beat Dark Souls on a DDR pad. Why do we have all this? Man, now you got me going. If we were back in Mesopotamia, we wouldn't have time for this. We're too busy finding food. We're too busy procreating. But no, 2024, we thought we'd have flying cars. No, we have goldfish beating video games.
hey
The
man,
amount of shit that people figure out how to do, not even just video games, just in general, like the people who are breaking down songs on Instagram, this is exactly what they did, and then the guy figures out how to play this multi-percussion part on one drum kit because he's got a brick over here and a fucking stick, and yeah.
Hey, the guy with the water thing. Dude, and all these people have way more Spotify listeners than I'll ever have.
it is a hollow crown to be the king of the Spotifys.
Isn't it? I mean, the crown has to be hollow, right? In order to go in your head.
Yeah, otherwise.
Are you having a laugh?
Otherwise, it's
Oh,
just
no,
a
I'd
piece
never
of
do that
metal
to you.
through
Never
your
do that to
head.
you,
Are you
Jules.
taking
Through.
the piss?
No,
Through.
no.
Are you
No.
playing a game?
Although the first thing you do when you die is you evacuate.
That's
so of
true.
course
That is true. So
you would be
maybe I'm
leaving the
dead.
piss.
Maybe
Yes.
I'm completely a corpse
Maybe.
who's just shot himself.
You've brought me around, you
Yeah.
cheeky
Yeah.
devil, you.
Peaky fucking blinder.
Peaky fucking blinders.
It is not a surprise that actor
Yeah.
has
He went
had
method.
actual
Yeah.
substance method. Yeah.
Method.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't. But I don't think that was what he was caught with.
No, I think he was on everything else.
I
but-
think it was like crack and
it?
coke and some other stuff in that.
Does
in
that count as a
region.
callback because you brought up coke?
Oh, so did you guys notice that? Okay, are you Harry Potter fans?
Nope.
It's fine, and then I don't feel the need to revisit it because of the
That person.
authors.
I've
Yeah,
read the books,
I
but I've
know.
never seen the movies.
Well, watch them
I was
with my
forced to
daughter.
watch the first
and
two
then she's
movies.
like, "Hey, wait a minute, where's Crab? Why is Crab here? You know, Goyle's here, but where's Crab?" The actor who plays Crab, like I think by like the fifth movie, like kind of lost it. And
Is
ended
that
up
a, is
getting
that a
arrested.
child or a,
Like
or
died like Richard Harris or just like
No. He ended up he ended up going to prison. Actually,
Oh, you mean like the guy from Mr. Show who was on like
on
did
the
these-
news?
stormed the Capitol. He was one of the
Yeah.
guys who stormed the
Whoa,
Capitol.
whoa! I love Mr. Show. Which one?
Jay
Jay Johnston.
Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And not only
No!
and they were
he's
asking
in jail.
Yeah, they were asking Paul F. Tompkins about it because they worked together, and they didn't just work together; they were writing partners on Mr.
wow.
Show.
Yeah.
and he was so great about it. He's like, "Yeah, we wrote together, and that's all I'm going to say about it."
Okay, hold
He
up.
just shut him down.
Yeah,
If you
he's-
guys know Mr. Show, I gotta pull a deep cut. So if I'm alone in this, okay. There is a
Run, Ronnie,
there's
run?
on the DVD extras. There's a bit where David Cross is a museum curator. Are you familiar with this one?
No,
Okay.
I have the book though. Do you have the book, Mr. Show? What happened?
I have not. I need to get on that then.
Yeah.
So, long story short is he's on the news and the presenter asks David Cross. He's like, "Well, as the museum, you know, in the museum, what's the question you get asked most frequently?" And just without skipping a beat, David Cross is like, "Who let you in here?" And I use that so much. I say that so frequently. Who let you in here? And I don't know why.
I
Secret
just listened to
Superstar.
Cross today on a podcast because he's promoting his new stand-up special that just came
Oh my
out.
God. Okay.
That's fun.
His stand-up special. Here's another one I use all the time. I'm a grown man with skills, where he's talking about. You know what? Hey Jules, you want to play a song?
In the next segment, we'll talk to Telly about David Cross.
okay, we can't all be muted, guys. Like one of us has to unmute and do.
Yeah, Jules, I thought you were going to play your song. You're muted.
Yeah, I thought so too, man.
Yeah, but
Then
you were still
then
muted.
Then I muted to
We got
to do
worried.
some stuff, and then
We were worried
everybody
about
was
you.
like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
And Rowan started it, so
And
yell
then
Rowan.
and then you noticed I was muted after I'd been muted. Like I cut my hair, and you didn't say anything. I'd been muted for like 90 seconds, and you didn't say shit. So
You cut your hair?
yeah, that's the bit. It's a bit. So in comedy, we do these things called bits.
You just learned about comedy? Congratulations!
Oh boy, let me tell you about this thing called stand-up. Ugh, what a needy bunch of needy needles.
Not wrong.
Laugh at me, laugh at me. Okay, oh, I'm funny, okay. Oh, I know joke structure, Fucking nerds. Ugh, God, so much scratchy noise. sleeping deep and slowed away. Slip past the sheep and creeping, I'm here to stay. It's been a while since you last saw my face, but I know I still control all the choices you make. Okay. I need to mute myself again, Chris. I'm so sorry.
All right, so I guess it's just you and me. I guess it's just me. Telly's muted. Chris is muted.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's our show now.
All right, cool. Oh, now it's just you and me, Rowan.
There you go. There you go.
So, how about those sports teams?
Yeah. Are you a sports guy?
I am not. I respect sports. I can appreciate anyone doing something at a very high level. And so
I can appreciate that too. What I don't appreciate is people treating other people doing sports like it is the most important thing in the world.
Oh, I mean, we have people, listen, I know that it's not easy to get on the court and crush it like the Kobe's and the LeBrons and the Michael Jordans, but they make more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime, touching lives as an educator or doctors or other people, and it just seems unfair.
No,
but it's just kind of a kind of like get a womp womp.
Well, for that stuff, like I don't have any problem with people making lots of money for it. It's the people who have nothing to do with the actual implementation of the game. The fans, the people who are watching, who are like, my team, we
lost,
win, and now I feel like I've got to trash this.
Oh, you mean Philadelphia fans?
Oh, dude, I'm from outside of Philly. We are terrible.
You're the worst. Batteries.
We're the terrible. The batteries. You know that they ate shit. Like somebody literally ate horse shit when the Eagles won.
It's insane. It's
so
funny.
So here we go. Throwing D batteries at a Santa Claus.
Yep.
Throwing full beer cans at Wisconsin fans the year that they won the Super Bowl. The robot that was trekking cross country did not make it through Philly.
Yeah.
I was at a wrestling show one time where everyone was chanting "fuck the homeless." They are just it is. They are brutal. But to the point of people like losing their marbles over a sports game. There was a great clip after the Super Bowl of a 49ers fan just like destroying a huge television. Can you do me a favor? Is there a way we can get Chris? I don't know what it looks like on your side, but can we get Chris to the right of me? Is that possible to kind of move him around so that I can be the one? I can rent him. There we go. Thank you. Fantastic.
I mean, I will say I was listening. I've heard your arguments, and you make good points. But also, the Orioles have a really good team this year. They have a really good shot.
No, I mean, and I have no problem with people enjoying sports.
I know people get weird about it on either side. I have found, not you, but I have found non-sports people to be way weirder about sports people than the other way around. It used to be like, what do you mean you don't like football? Now it has turned around so much. It's like, what do you mean you like baseball? I'm like, it gave me a chance to connect with my dad when we weren't really talking.
I'll say this, of the sports, I think I do like baseball the best, just because Camden Yards is gorgeous and it's relaxing.
I miss that park.
Football's jarring. It's like
very violent.
It's a fucking lot. It's a lot.
It's short attention span theater with like the music playing and like the let's go and da 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 da. And it is exciting to some extent, but baseball is like you just go to the park, hang out, have a good time.
It's going to take forever. So that's just
one of the
your
things
day.
I like about it. I hated that they like tried to speed it up. It's like, fuck right off. It goes the speed it goes. And something I always like when I got really into baseball, I liked being able to take non-baseball people because it's also just the weather's good. It's a nice thing to do with your afternoon.
Get a handbag.
Yeah. What's that?
I can enjoy going and seeing a game.
Get a hat bag.
Yeah.
I can go and sit through a game and enjoy it and love it. And, but I'm not the guy who is going to be like, oh, well, can't do anything because the game's on, and like watching it on TV or.
I had a couple of years like that. I'm not going to lie. Like I had a couple of years that we were like, although wait, no, because I really like listening to it on the radio. It's actually great for like a long car drive, but that's something else. I got super into it in like 2005 when the Orioles sucked, but I was like a 10-year-old with a credit card. Like, yeah, we'll get XM so I can listen to the games, and all that shit. And then they were terrible in 2018, and my dad died, and I just took a break for a while. But now it's one of the few things, sports is how I'm able to talk to my 14-year-old who doesn't want a whole lot to do with me otherwise. So, again.
It's
one of those things.
It's a good bonding experience. Like
frankly,
if there's a playoff thing, I'll watch that with my dad or whatever. Or like if I'm at a bar, I'll
And my feelings changed on, of all things, lacrosse, because after shutdown and all the weird shit, lacrosse was the first thing that kid showed any interest in. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm watching lacrosse, I guess.
Like pro lacrosse?
No.
Is there pro
no.
lacrosse? Is that
there is.
Oh, okay.
There absolutely is. But college lacrosse is actually kind of fun to watch because it's fast.
You're fast.
Yeah, you too. But yeah, he just didn't want to do anything or leave his room. And then he's like, I made these friends and they want to play lacrosse. I'm like, okay. And things got better. But that's a separate conversation entirely.
Keep him away from Andrew Tate.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, keep him away from him.
Too.
Yeah.
Good. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know, but like if he pops up or like Sneeko or any of these other Manosphere.
Did you see Sneeko get the fuck knocked out of him?
No.
What is everybody talking about?
So this is like toxic masculinity, basically. And I also started to watch the video of the woman you
the
talking
Mooncat
about.
Manosphere video.
Yeah, I started watching that one. But so basically,
you are the one I go to for toxic masculinity, Telly.
So Sneeko's this. I don't even know him that well, but it's basically toxic masculinity. And he was talking a bunch of crap about Mike Musumeci, who is this jujitsu guy who would literally knock the crap out. But he's kind of nerdy. He's kind of on the spectrum. But he's a world champion jiu-jitsu guy. And Sneako's like, I could kick his rear and blah blah blah. So long story short, he gets in the ring with a UFC fighter.
Why would you do that?
And I forget it was the middleweight champion whose name escapes me right now. But the guy like laid into him, and like kudos to Sneako for getting in the octagon with the guy and like actually going full blast. But it was so cathartic to just watch a bully catch it.
Did you ever watch Bully Beatdown?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was a
that
fan.
show is glorious. Don't do this, Brandon. We say that every once in a while. Just the whole thing of Bully Beatdown is, if you guys haven't seen it, there's a guy who'd have some kind of problem with somebody who wouldn't leave him alone, and there was a UFC fighter. I don't remember his name, but he's really goofy. Apparently he's a pretty good fighter. And he hosted this show, and they would offer the bully X amount of money
Right,
if
to
they
get in
could
the ring.
Yeah.
And like X amount of time to train and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was on
And-
MTV or something like that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you can
Oh,
still find it
God.
on YouTube, and it is so satisfying. Like, yeah, and there are a couple of guys who go the distance. Like they get the shit knocked out of them, but they go the distance. They get the money.
On the opposite end of that spectrum, you have Uwe Boll, film director, who once challenged a critic to a boxing match. And Uwe Boll is like 6 foot and like boxes in his spare time. And this critic thought they were just doing like a fun promo thing.
Oh,
and
no,
Uwe Boll
no.
like fucking like just yeah. This is the guy who made
So many bad movies.
Blood Rain, I believe, is like the biggest movie that he's known for. But like Postal, Rampage, which is another like a bunch of them are about like doing mass shootings and being like, we live in a society, like fucking just it's like the Joker, but a worse director than Todd Phillips, I guess, is a good director now. We say that? Do we say that?
What movies did he make?
The Hangover. Oh, and The Hangover 3.
He didn't make the middle one.
He did.
No, they gave that. No, that's the one where they made the like really interesting choices. Like half of the cast died. No.
No. What they did, though, Chris, you're going to fucking love it. What
Yeah?
they did is, you know how the first one went where, like, they lost their friend?
Sure.
And then they can't remember the night before?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So the second one, right? Get this. And it is insane. They do that again. They just do that again.
Which one's the one where they
Decapitate
try
a
to
giraffe? That's the third one.
I was going to say where they normalized Mike Tyson. Like, oh, he's
That's the
funny now.
first one, and I believe
Okay.
the third one as well. He comes back, yeah.
The
haven't seen
Mike
the third
Tyson
one.
cartoon also helps normalize Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen
I
it.
mean,
It's just-
like I said about Hitler, he had a dog. That doesn't mean he's not a fucking war criminal. Look, give him
I'ma fuck you till you love
Shut
me.
the fuck up, Scooty. I'm so sorry. He's still staying with me. He can't find anywhere to stay, and friends are friends. He compliments me. Anyway, Telly, what were you saying?
I'm gonna fuck you until you love me.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad we went back to that. Well, while we're on that note,
double
Rowan,
down.
we've already done this with you.
I feel like we're getting a better idea anyway.
This is why I love these long form things. But I just would
Long.
like to formally ask.
Yeah, we have a special segment here
What's
where
my
we
fucking
ask.
deal?
Yeah.
Oh, you ruined it.
Well, Telly's watched
He's watched the show
episodes
before?
of the show before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
I mean,
a show?
it's-
Should we have an opening or like credits or something?
We had a cold open.
Yeah, we always have a cold open.
You're a
If-
cold open.
I mean, do you think these people go on Hot Ones and they've never seen what the bomb is? Because
Yeah. I am
Pat
gonna order some
Malakshmi
hot
on
wings
that was
in a
the
bit.
greatest thing like ever. But anyway,
All right, so what's my
Anybody
fucking
want
deal?
anything? I'm ordering some hot wings. From Pizza
do they
Hut.
do they do cauliflower wings? Because I like those.
Oh, I wish I found a wing place that I actually trusted.
I wish I bothered to look. No.
Yeah.
Chris, you
You don't trust
vegetarian?
them? Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I know that.
Mostly. I'll say like
Mostly.
90%. Most 90%.
So that's a part of your fucking deal.
Yeah. So
okay, I mean, what do you
vegetarian.
want? You want the origin story?
Yeah.
I
want,
mean,
like-
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
You've told me where you're from
radioactive
before
spider.
in private.
Girl Next Door, Mary Jane.
No, I'll give you the serious if that's cool
Yeah,
with you.
I would
cool.
like I would
Yeah.
like to know. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
us.
So born in suburban Philadelphia.
Is that why?
my-
Oh, I'm sorry. A question in
Yeah,
the back.
yes, you in-
Is
yes,
that why
you in
you're
the
so
back.
angry at Philadelphia?
I mean, I just
I think he just has an accurate,
if I
like, you know.
I have an accurate
account.
vibe
Yeah, okay,
on it, and
right,
but
yeah.
also like I'm far enough away that I would never say I'm from Philadelphia. It wouldn't be fair to them. But then also like it was kind of a upper middle class, and now it's completely just like everyone's been priced out of the real estate market.
Everybody's getting gentrified, baby.
But basically like west of the main line, and the main line Villanova and all that is
I ask in part because my dad's from North Philly, and
Okay.
I grew up going to Philadelphia, so I actually have very warm feelings toward it. But I can't defend any of that at all.
Right.
Those
No,
weren't
I
my
like the city.
experiences, but yeah.
I never spent a whole lot of time in there. My time in Philadelphia was pretty much spent at South Philly, going to the ECW arena and yelling "fuck the homeless" at wrestling shows.
You mean
know.
leading the
No, not leading it, but I mean, when you have a bunch of rabid fans that are just crazy, like,
Caught up
you
in the
were
rapture.
there.
You
So
get
were
caught
you
up in
there
it.
for the actual like ECW time, like the Sandman and all that stuff? or
No,
was
no, I missed
after the
that.
fact?
Basically, after what came in was a group called CZW Combat Zone Wrestling, and they took the violence to a whole nother level. And I've seen people take weed whackers to the stomach. I've seen people like almost die in the ring. Somebody like cut their arm, and when they flex their muscle, like blood comes shooting out. Like, why would you do that for $50 and a hot dog? I don't know. But
It must be a really good hot dog.
oh, it's a fun time though. Like watching
Thanks.
someone like jump off of the top of a roof and through like three tables are on fire and panes of glass, and it's like that's you can never unsee it, and I never trade in for anything. But also, to be fair, I am a student. I'm a student of the game in terms of like real wrestling. Like it's choreographed violence. It's a dance. It's an art form.
Yeah.
The campy like acting I could do without, but like when you see a really well done match, dude, Japan. There's a saying in Japan, it's a sport. In Mexico, it's a
I have a
tradition.
bootleg. I have a bootleg of when Eddie Guerrero was in Japan. I went through a time. I actually stopped watching after Eddie died. That's
Yeah.
what did it.
No.
Because I thought he was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, but he could do either side. He could do face or a heel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great heel. My heart broke when Benoit did the things. I loved Benoit.
Oh my God! I mean,
It's
just like
such a talent.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's how you kind of like it's like hey, do you know it's fake, right? It's just like but they're actually doing the shit.
Yeah.
The amount
They're
of
doing
shit that was
this.
wrong with his brain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like the fact that he got like CTE so fucking bad.
I
that
will say, as an
that
aside for
happened.
that, the thing that he did, I believe the term is family annihilator.
Yes.
And the reason
Wow.
I know that is because it happened to a friend of mine's family.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was sorry. The night she, like, when you become close enough friends with somebody and then they kind of tell you their story, like it's not just data dumping, they just kind
right.
of show you who they are. And she, like, told me this story, and it was really hard not to, oh my God, and just listen, And but I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, a wrestler that I knew, and he lived around the corner from my childhood home. He did that. He was a murder suicide with his wife, and
Yeah.
it's like I can't wrap my head around real violence to begin with or nastiness
No.
world to begin with, but it does sadden me. So yeah, so
It's
big
actually-
wrestling
oh,
fan.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to keep going.
Are you?
That's
Oh no.
happened to 2 people I know. Fuck. Go on with your story. I had forgotten about the other one, but this happened while I knew that person, and that person didn't make it.
Oh.
Yeah. And reporters showed up to our workplace, and I was kept away from them. The manager knew that I knew the person. It's like, no, he's not, no. And just like got him out.
Like
Jeez,
shielded
I'm
you
sorry.
from it?
I had genuinely just blocked all of that out. That's like
Oh, man.
over 30 years ago.
Yeah, I can
apologize.
see
Please.
why you'd block
Yeah,
something like that out.
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck. So you like wrestling?
I do. Okay, so let me go back to the beginning. So I was born in suburban Philadelphia. My mother was a music teacher. She taught elementary music for 20 years. So I have a whole. When I was a little kid, I got a little wooden chest that someone carved Telly's toys into, and right now it's filled with all the instruments that Chris sees me play with on Instagram. My father was a chairman of the keyboard department at the local university. He was a 3-time Juilliard graduate that played Carnegie
wow.
Hall. Yeah, so I was like living in that shadow. I was like, holy hell, how do I stand up to that? Like, he was a monster piano player, like literally. And you would never know it. He's the kindest man I ever knew, the most unassuming man. But he would just run circles around everyone else at that college. It was ridiculous. Playing Rachmaninoff, but from memory with the Pittsburgh Philharmonic, crazy shit. So I came from a very musical family. By the time I was 3 years old, I was holding hand chimes in my hand and playing in a church. I was learning the piano. In elementary, middle school, I played the cello, and then at about 12 years old, I picked up the guitar, and it all, took off from there. So, been making music my entire life. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the real.
Yeah.
My father, when he was at Juilliard, met someone named Bruce Hack with 2 A's. And check out that Wikipedia. He is known as the father of techno, and basically was making techno music with reel-to-reel and old Casio
wow.
keyboards before it was even a thing. A bunch of electronic artists, Daft Punk, Moby, cite him as an influence. And so, if you listen to my crap, I definitely dabble in that as a result. And you're like, yeah, go on spot. And oh God, my father, spent the latter part of his life trying to promote that music after Bruce died in '88. And after, oh God, I'm going out of order here. Hold up. So
okay.
He met Bruce in New York City, and they were together. And when my mom was my dad's beard, pretty much.
Okay, then.
Yeah. So, and as a kid, I had no idea. And then as I got older, they had a genuine love for each other, but he was, born in 36. So it was a different time, and family didn't approve and hiding and all that.
Yeah,
and
that
kind
just
of in
didn't
that era,
happen.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't a
They
thing.
didn't exist.
Right. But I learned so much kindness and so much acceptance and so much inclusivity from him, which completely offset my mother's racism and bigotry. And I'm so glad for that. Yeah, I get, she's where I get my sense of humor, but I mean, those of us who are funny, we all have some trauma, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise we wouldn't be
cost?
funny.
Yeah.
Right. So basically I've been, making music the entire time. When I was in high school, played a battle of the bands where a friend of mine brought a giant inflatable penis into the crowd and threw it all around. That's on videotape somewhere.
Good.
In
Noted.
college, I did a bunch of open mics and I played with some friends, and I would get up every week at the open mic and I would play with different people.
Was this still in
And-
Philly?
This is still outside of Philly, a little town called Westchester. And so after months and months and months of showing up, the host was like, well, here comes Telly and his Mafia. And I was just given the moniker Telly Mafia because I was playing with. So I had a band, a 3-piece called Telly Mafia, which I hated because I don't like attention. But we made 2 albums.
You put out, huh?
It's a good name. Sorry.
It was an okay name, yeah.
It's a solid name.
I as a band name, I didn't jive with it. So did that. Hosted an open mic for a while at a hookah bar. That was a blast, network, and all of that. So a bunch of friends in my hometown, a bunch of musician friends. Some have gone on to be wildly successful, and I'm totally cool with that. Maybe some of you have Jules. I think maybe Pearlmania 5000. That's a personal friend of mine, the TikTok guy. Reddit. Anyways, blah blah blah. I'm gonna name drop, but anyways.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll pick that up for you. You dropped this name.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Moved down to Baltimore in 2013 for the teaching gig, and then, I just kind of like, fell off of music for just a little bit while I was teaching, and blah blah blah. Then it was in 2016 I made my way to T-Volve, I think, and I was kind of a different person by then. I had been sober for a couple years, and I had, 2 losses in my life, and then like I was just, clearly I'm a nervous person, right? And it wasn't always like that. So I would show up and I would bomb, and I would show up and I would bomb, and I would show up and my hands would betray me, and I would, and one day Rob comes up with me, he goes, calm as a cucumber, love it in his heart. He's like, what do you want to get out of this? He's like, what are you looking to get out of this? And I was honest. It was like, I'm, looking to just kind of get back out there with the music, and I'm looking for community. And I found it, right? So then 2017, 2018, I got back into recording, and it's been, knocking it out ever since. And so I pump out at least 1 album per year. And I have a blast with it. So yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it, I suppose.
And you knock out a record plus a year in addition to the 1 or 2 gigs you have going, like the teachery, and then
So I do I was working at a yeshiva for a little bit during the pandemic, but yeah, the full time teaching gig, and that's really it right now. But I have, like, there was times where I worked side hustles, or I did tutoring, or the pandemic year I worked at the yeshiva. But then, I just kind of, that's why a lot of them are short too. That's how I got into, hold on a second, let me find it here. We go to my website, because I have the greatest like line for it. Yeah, the cellatixarp.com. Music. Tellypandel.com, everybody.
I love that Jules makes you say it every time we're on something. It doesn't matter. Every vom.
There we go. Here we go. And this is really basically half the stuff I write anymore. Combining my eclecticism with my proclivity towards short and formless song structures to create jobs for homeless riffs. That's what it is.
Nice.
I'll take a riff that, like, from 10 years ago, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it, and all of a sudden I Chris, I sent you something on Instagram. I love meat sticks. Like, that's coming out in the next album. Who's with me? Who loves a good meat stick? And I just put it over a riff, and there we go. It's a song now.
I love a good meat stick. Wink.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Wink.
So yeah, that's my fucking deal. I'm weird.
Do you tend towards brevity in the songs? Is that something you acquired as you got older, or have you always gone that way?
No, something as I've gotten older. If you listen to, like, the first one the first album I did when I was down here in Baltimore was called Compassion Fatigue, and I got the name from my therapist because she rolled it out one time, because basically with my relationship with, my mother, God, I hope she doesn't see this. Please don't let her see this.
Okay.
Was just like,
hey, don't stop watching.
Don't stop watching.
But it's like, when something is always wrong, and something's always going wrong, and something's always bad, and someone's always like, you get fatigued by it. You get fatigued by, like, having empathy for that person. And it's like, I can't take much more of this compassion fatigue. So that whole album is literally like, woe is me, woe is you. And, some of the songs, clock in at 6-7 minutes with, like, solo breaks and, like, multiple parts and all that. Like, and, regardless of long or short, I really do take my lyricism seriously, and I try to, if it doesn't make sense to somebody else, at least makes sense to me. Some of them have a theme, some of them just sound decent to me, or I try to be, like, intellectual with my vocabulary, but I could totally do a story, a storyteller's. So,
some people think if somebody else can't figure out what you mean, that it's a failure, but I don't believe that.
No.
It's you're not writing you're not writing a newspaper column.
Right.
You know, songs get to be whatever you want them to be. That's
Right.
one of the best
that's
parts.
art. That's how art
Yeah.
goes.
Exactly. So like as I got older, and I think I said this, I might have said this on Monday. I just kind of got into like the, okay, two stories in one. When my dad was promoting Bruce's music after his passing, he was really pushing it. Bruce's music was on Yo Gabba Gabba. Beck did a cover, and then there was a bunch of TV and stuff. But then at some point, my dad, through somehow, I can't remember how it was, he knew a guy who knew a guy. He was like, "Oh, you should listen to this. His name's Elliott Smith." And that was that changed my life. That literally changed my life. Like, changed my song stop. Well, first of all, cried. Like, I can put on certain songs and just start bawling like a baby. But also, it got me out of like the A B format. I was like, oh, I can just go for 30 seconds and that's a song. Or I can go
when you
A,
find
B, A, and
when
it's
you
done.
find that out, like especially if you go for more restrictive song forms like I do, and when you just find out, no, it could be whatever you want it to be. There could just be, AABA or AB. The weird one was ABCD. Like, nope, they're not. They're just not the same thing.
No, I have some of those and I love it, because it's like it makes sense, but it doesn't, and that's hell. That's me in a nutshell.
Well, I feel like we've answered the question maybe more thoroughly than we ever have.
Yeah, I think so. Although I
think-
do have one additional question.
Okay, Columbo.
And then I could throw it. I am curious, and this is a selfish question because I don't have any. What spurred the tattoos, and how many do you have at this point?
Okay, I am completely covered, literally, like.
Thank you for just showing your leg.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of show.
It's not, that's the I call this the standard bear. I've had that guitar since I was in 10th grade.
Right on. What kind of guitar is it?
It's a Takamine. Oh, there's my Telecaster that I have.
Your Telly.
I guess you're not
Caster?
allowed
There's a
to
Telly.
play a different kind of electric, are you?
Right, and I've got some Godans.
You've got some gonads?
Go ahead.
Don't
I'll
show
say.
those. Don't show those.
From the knee up on my left leg is the 12 Olympians, and then on my right leg are the Titans and some of like the other like the mythical creatures. I have a Medusa tattoo on my ass, and the
You
joke
play
writes
God of
itself.
War, Telly?
No, I mean I played it, but
Is that
Come here,
from,
boy.
is that from like your classical education? Is that
a
from?
little bit, but also like my Praxiteles is my legal name, so it's.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What? Can you lean into the mic a little bit because I don't want to miss.
Sorry. Yeah. So
no,
Praxiteles
I'm
is my-
curious.
Yeah.
I-
so.
Does
I'm a
that
nice Greek
have
boy.
Does that have a? Does that have a specific meaning? I'm not familiar with the term.
No, it's so he was a sculptor in the 4th century BC.
Okay.
And there's his most famous work is the Hermes with the baby Dionysus, and so it's a statue. When I went to Athens in 2016 and ran the marathon and visited my cousin, I made the trip 3 hours north to the village of Olympia, where the first Olympic Games were held, and I went and I saw my namesake's work, and it was fantastic. So the other tattoos. This is the cover of Bruce's album Bite. So if you go Bruce Hack Bite, this is the album cover. I thought that was badass. Know Your Muppets, that's Telly Monster. The Six of Hearts, my sister's birthday is February the 6th. I'm going to tell you the story. Okay.
Go a little more into your camera if you wouldn't mind, because I can't quite make out what it.
There you go. So
Okay,
everyone
gotcha.
asks me, like, oh, it's a Lego guy. No, okay, so back to the wrestling show stuff. God, you're going to...
And I'm sorry, Telly. Before you go into the story, lean back into your mic just so we
Sorry.
can hear you.
I'll move the camera and...
It's okay.
There we go.
Totally okay. I just didn't want to miss the story. This is
No,
really
I'm
interesting.
not
go
adept
ahead.
at this. This is my first time. I got the boom arm set up and everything,
Yeah.
so I can be cool.
They always say it's their first time.
So went to a wrestling show in Canada, met a guy there, and the way that I met him was he was holding up a giant sign that said "Dead Baby Hand Job," and it had a picture of a baby with X's over its eyes and a penis in its hand, right? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And of course we're friends now, right? So then I had another friend of mine who ended up becoming a professional wrestler. I was like, can you draw me a depiction of like dead baby hand job, right? And there was another side story. It's a wrestling legend about someone crapping on a glass coffee table and someone else being underneath watching it. I won't even get into that. But so the guy took
Danny Thomas. No, that's a Danny Thomas story too. But that's.
I feel like that story has kind of traveled a lot of different.
It crosses a lot of barriers. Yeah, I think it does.
So I asked him, "Can you draw me a picture of, dead baby hand job and the pooping on the coffee table?" And so my friend drew this, but there was also like the baby hanging from the side of it. But when I was like, I'm going to get the tattoo, I was like, I don't think I'm going to get the other part of it. This ended up being on my second album on some of the art for it. So that's why I have it tattooed. A lot of these tattoos are like album art. Okay, so this one, this is on the cover of Compassion Fatigue. One of my students, your Lenny Lobo Santos, drew this, and I was like, that's amazing. Can I use it? She's like, totally. I bought her like a giant sketchbook for it. This one is the cover of Sentient Menace. This was graffiti that I saw in Greece. I don't know if I can figure out that one. So that was graffiti. It was in Greece. This one right here is Lanaya Robinson, another one of my students, drew a picture, and I had it like kind of made into this one. This is Analysis Paralysis. This tattoo, I went to my tattoo artist who does all my work. I've known him since high school, and I said, just draw on me. And so we got matching tattoos. So one of my good friends has this. This one is my Lucha Libre Day of the Dead for my professional wrestling and my respect for my Hispanics, my Spanish-speaking students.
Nice.
What else we got? The last 2 years, my students called me Mr. Bread, Mr. Pandel, Senior Bread. So I had one of my students, Deasia Noel. I was like, what's does Mr. Bread look like? And she drew me a picture and
That is magnificent.
got
That's
it like,
That's really something.
And she was cool. This one is the panda with the headphones that I'm wearing. So I've got Telly, Pandel. My sister drew this when she was a kid, and I kind of have it on the back of my arm so I can always have it with me but not have to look at it, Yeah, more
Pretty great.
in the funny way, but also kind of in the dark, sad way. Like, lost her in 2017, and so that was
I didn't want to ask, but
Yeah.
it seemed to be going that way.
Yeah. She's a lot of the art you see behind me is her. And so like she was crazy talented, not musical in the slightest, but crazy talented. And then Rob one time asked to see it. I'm not going to take my shirt off, but it's basically the sad. So Day of the Dead inspired the happy and sad masks.
Oh,
And
that's great. The Harlequins.
and-
That's
Comedy and tragedy.
fantastic.
And then in the middle is an hourglass, and it basically represents comedy equals tragedy plus time. So I've, it kept me sober for a good long while. And then, I fell off the wagon, and then I kind of go up and down and up and down. When I'm teaching, I have to be on the wagon. I can't be on my A game, and, but let me tell you, 2nd June hits. Some of my greatest work, some of my favorite songs that I've written and recorded, I barely remember, and so that's part of the deal. But also I have Compassion Fatigue is completely stone sober, and that's amazing. Like I'm capable of creativity without it,
Right.
but man, it is fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the. It is fun. Do you talk about what you are sober or not sober from?
Oh, I'm a huge pothead. I
Interesting.
never
a lot of-
liked drinking.
So you're California sober, even when you're not sober.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I haven't drank alcohol since I was in college.
Okay.
The public urination wasn't the reason I stopped, but
It didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt, and I, there was definitely, sorry, I laugh because like I woke up in a bar bathroom and I had failed making the decision. The decision is when you have to decide, like, well, Jules knows, like, which one's going to go in the toilet, right?
Hey, I've done the old between the legs trick. So
Yeah.
Wow.
But I missed both somehow, and I woke up.
geez.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And the bar said, "Well, get the hell out of here." And then I drove home when I shouldn't have.
Wow.
oof, oof, oof.
Yeah. So that was.
Did you make it?
I did make it, and but I'd had a bunch of friends who had close calls and scary things, and ultimately, and this is also part of it. When Bruce passed away, my mother came from an alcoholic family, and she was like, well, he died because he drank too much. And that he did drink a lot. I don't know. I mean, watching that plagiarism video, it's like, I don't know what she tells me is truth or a lie, which will get me on to the next part. When my father passed, the ASCAP, like she said, we couldn't find a will. There wasn't a will. She gets it all Greek style. That ASCAP account has been sitting dormant. Bruce has about 40,000 Spotify listeners per month. Like, where is that money sitting? And I can't promote the music. I can't get my hands on it. I can't like do anything. It's just sitting there, and I'm waiting. It's bullshit. So yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Going back, when did you lose your father?
2019. He was in his 80s. It was cancer. He wasn't supposed to live past 6. He had like a heart like congenital heart issue. And so when he was in the hospital, like, oh, it's the heart thing. It's the heart thing. And they're like, nope, it's lymphoma. And it's like, surprise. And then
It's the shit that gets everybody if something else doesn't get you first.
Yeah.
Same thing. My mom was telling me for years, your father's going to die. You're going to regret not coming up here. He's going to die. You're going to regret it. And then like when he finally was dying, I was like, I don't fucking believe you. And it wasn't until the doctors got on and were like, yeah, his pal was like, fuck. And I didn't have the wherewithal to say, what are your wishes? Is there a will? Because I was in complete shock. And of course now I'm just kind of like, I still try to go up and I try to help out and everything, but I'm sure that like, we're all of an age where we can kind of relate to like transitioning into that parental role.
Yeah, there's that weird time. It's especially weird if you happen to like have kids, and then that's going on at the same time. So you're like, both sides are both of your folks gone?
No, my mother's still with me, so okay. I go up and I try to help around the house, and that's a whole other set of like trauma and issue because like I'm down here in Baltimore, and Westchester's 2 hours away. So I'll like go up and I like I'm not handy, but I somehow replaced a toilet or like call an HVAC guy or like call an electrician, and she's kind of xenophobic and again like the racism and bigotry, so it's like I have to like carefully curate who's coming in the house, and it's like
that's a lot on you. That's a lot.
It's just a pain, so it's and then blah 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 blah. The I think part of the hardest part of it is like I've gone to great lengths since my late 20s of being in therapy and working on it, and like I'm staring my own mental illness in the face, and it's like I've done so much work to like not be like that, and because let's just have it. Racism is taught, so as a kid I'm like, oh, this is normal, and like I was under the impression like this is a normal thing, you know what I mean, and like it wasn't until probably like my adolescence when I was like, oh, no, but like totally, like, I'm not going to sit here and deny transgressions, but like I'm a child,
Right.
So,
there's a difference between
you kind of
people...
get a free pass as a kid,
right,
like a small kid.
There's a difference between people who are taught that as a kid.
Yeah.
And then they've been essentially indoctrinated. But then once you grow up and you start to experience things outside of that controlled environment wherein you were taught to do a racism,
it's time to learn.
And then you meet. It usually just starts with like, oh, wow, you're Mexican.
To do a racism is an amazing term, by the way.
No, my father was not having any of that shit.
No shit.
And,
yeah.
and that, because he was, again, coming from that, like, the situation, but like I very vividly remember telling a racist joke to a black babysitter that my dad had. He would like get his college students to like, come in, like, cause he was working, they were both working full time. And I didn't know what the hell I was saying. My mom was just like, here's a funny joke. And like, oh, I heard a funny joke, and I'm repeating it. And now like, look at like, that is a traumatic childhood memory I have. Like I'm aghast at that,
Yeah, but that's totally not your fault.
No.
Like, you're a child and you're fed stuff. We run into that when my kids were in elementary school. The younger one would come home and like say, this kid said this horrible thing. And I'm like, that kid doesn't think that. That kid doesn't think anything yet. That kid's parents told him that.
I went to the Natural History Museum in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And I went with someone we all know that shall go unnamed, and we went to go look at rocks and gems and minerals and stuff, because they have a great fucking display of that. And it's short of the dinosaur stuff, which half of those are fake anyway. It's one of the better exhibits, because you just see like time fucking like memorialized in just one of the most beautiful natural forms. Anyway,
Did you say this was the Smithsonian or a different one?
well, it is, I believe, owned by the Smithsonian.
Okay.
It's not like the art museum, which is like the Carnegie Mellon people did, and like it's a private sort of deal.
I was just curious. I missed that whole.
It's
one of
the
things
the Natural History Museum. So
one
they
of the
got,
things I
they
missed
got
about
all the shit.
being on the East Coast is that stuff.
Yeah.
The Smithsonian and all that. But
Yeah,
please,
it's good.
please continue.
There's some good shit on the mall. DC's generally a nightmare. But
See, my main experience with DC was going to the Smithsonian stuff, going to Georgetown to eat, and then going to Christian and Alejo's to play. So I have, again, very warm feelings about DC. But that is a very specific, experience. And they're the best people.
I'm gonna see them a few times in the next few months.
I am deeply jealous. Christian and Alejo are about as good as it gets. But
Anyway,
continue,
we were walking to the exhibit, and we see like a flock of like 40 or 50 kids all decked out in Make America Great Again swag.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. You don't understand the connotations that come with that, and what the actual slogan. Hitler, to go back to everybody's favorite
Reagan
guy.
used it in the 80s. That I didn't realize.
Reagan
That
used it
was-
in the 80s, but Hitler's thing was make Germany great again. We need to restore the greatness of Germany. That's the whole
The
thing.
Fatherland?
No,
It's
the-
fucking fascism. Oh my
No,
god.
the fact that people don't see the parallels, like
It's insane. Yeah.
basically post World War One, Germany was split apart. They were paying reparations to all these other countries.
I'd say an awful lot of them do see the parallels and are just fine with it. But
That's
please
fair.
continue.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think that it's a lot of people just don't know history. And
They don't. I think that is a huge part of it, because a lot of these flag waving people who, will you don't tread on me, fucking trans people are indoctrinating your kids to turn the frogs gay. It's insane. It's insane.
That one I wasn't ready for.
Those-
when you turned me onto that, I'm like, what?
Those
Dude,
that
what to
turning
the frogs?
gay. Those same people, support these fascist ideals, but they don't understand. Chris sent me a picture of a sign.
Oh, yeah.
that
It's a
he
real thing.
drives by that says
That
defund
gym?
the Nazi
Yeah.
party,
Yeah.
support Trump 2024.
Yeah, pump for Trump. And
And
that's on
it's-
the main drag here, Rowan, about 10 minutes from my house. And I'm like,
crazy.
fuck. And we went through a whole thing. Jules and I went through a whole thing. I'm sorry, Telly, to get off of your
No,
fucking
no, I'm
deal for a
totally on.
second.
This is
We went-
fascinating me.
we went through a
here
thing,
for it.
and Jules, I don't fault you for it for a second. When we were first becoming friends, and you're poking at me about these things, because I know what I look like, And there are people here who look like me who think horrible things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, fine. Yeah, I get it.
In this economy, sir.
Yeah. I caught it at
Excuse you.
before when they were taking down Hillary. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Oh,
when they
look,
were taking
man.
down Hillary.
She said there is a right-wing cabal that is like out to get me,
And that's just
not
true.
That's just
the
true.
thing. That's just the thing that happened.
It's,
I was
I'm
in
not,
a liquor
I'm-
store.
I
and
shit
because-
talk Hillary
yeah.
Clinton all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not discounting the fact that
No,
sexism
it totally
played
happened.
a huge
Not talking
role
about what
and
she
that
did, but
the
yeah.
right-wing machine played.
But
a huge
I was in a
role.
liquor
But
store.
She's still a monster.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I was in a liquor store in a shirt like this, in a trucker hat that probably had the Orioles or something on it, or a beer, and some guy thought it was awesome to say something to me about that person that I am not going to repeat. I'm just like,
Wow.
and I left. It's just like fucking fuck. But I Telly, I'm so sorry because your story is really interesting, and I do not mean to like pull away
No.
from it.
No,
I do mean to pull away from it for just a second. And Rowan
I'm
knows
here
where
for
I'm
it.
going with
Go for
this.
Wait, where are you going with it?
Rowan is going to have to leave us.
Oh
And
shit!
I
don't.
and
it's
I
late.
don't know how long this is going to go because it is fascinating. I
It
don't
is
know,
really interesting.
But I don't want Rowan to have to stay to find out how deep the rabbit hole goes.
We'll let you know.
Machines.
No, and
I'm glad we
I-
got some time with you. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
good
I'm,
to
I
see
was
you.
really
Thanks for
glad I was
coming.
actually able to make it happen.
Honorary
but I'm,
third
like,
chair.
Yeah,
the-
missed you
the-
on Monday. Just wasn't up to it.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's totally cool.
He had to save all his energy for whatever the fuck this is.
But like now,
I had
it's like
2
I'm just,
naps
yeah.
today to be
See?
okay for
There
this.
we go. There we go.
I'm not lying. I went back to bed after I put the kids on the bus, and then I took a nap at like 4 o'clock. I'm like, I'm gonna have to be up with this asshole, Jules, for who knows how late. That
Yeah,
guy.
it's the getting up at 5:30, and I'm just like,
Oh,
Rise and
I've been
grind,
there.
baby.
I've been there.
Yeah,
So-
I got 5:45 wake ups now, and it's not fun.
Mine's 6:30 on weekdays, which doesn't compare to that. But I when we lived in Baltimore, it was 5 a.m. every day because
I used to
we
do 5 a.m.
we
every
worked
day, but I
outside of
can't
D.C.
anymore.
with
Oh,
2 small kids and had to put them in things. The reason we moved here is because we had a
Traffic?
lifeline where we'd actually see our children again.
Right.
And
Fucking
I
hell.
miss a lot of things. I've gotten more homesick over the last year or so after seeing you guys, frankly, Rowan, and the stuff that happens there, and talking to Jules about getting to do things back on the East Coast. Like fuck, but we would not have survived. That's a separate,
No,
separate
that's
conversation entirely.
that's a crazy commute every day. That's like
Yeah.
from where I am into
Yeah.
like Fairfax, which is
we
just
were in the
like,
car 2 to 3 hours every
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly.
brutal.
Yeah.
My ex taught in DC schools. She bought a place in Baltimore, and I was like, "Why?" And she
Yeah.
commuted
Yeah.
from Baltimore to DC every single day,
It's
or she'd take
insane.
the mark or something, and I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Terrible
a
idea.
bunch
Well,
of
you
people
guys
who
know
do
the
that.
area well enough. You guys know the area well enough. We bought a house in Parkville because it's what we could afford.
I was in Tessa. It's
couldn't-
nice. Parkville's
we could-
cool.
Parkville's great, but Parkville is not close to Silver Spring, which is where we worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I loved Parkville. Frankly, I missed that house. We had a great house in Parkville. This house is better because of how the difference in real estate prices. Yeah, we had Rowan. You're the one who's been here.
Yeah.
Big long,
Yeah.
ranch house. We were in a tiny 2-floor, 3-bedroom Cape Cod in Parkville
Oh wow.
that we would have outgrown, but we would have figured it out. And I miss that house bitterly sometimes. But one or both of us would not have survived. But that is but you were trying to get off. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you don't have to try very hard to get off here. That's Ssnotwasscall.
I will say before you go, Rowan, I am so glad we're doing this thing. Whatever this weird live stream starts as, it comes to something like this, and this is when I genuinely appreciate that we do it, as opposed to hey, which is great. I love talking about superhero movies or shit
great.
I don't understand or
I love it.
whatever it is. But when we like talk about human things, like Telly,
Yeah.
I think your story's fascinating. I genuinely do. And I'm like, oh, this is why I have this gear and I log in when I'm not feeling 100% up to it. Because this, to me, just to me personally, like finding out people's stories who I know sort of, but don't really know. Like Telly, you were at T-Volve the night that I came back to T-Volve after my father passed in 2018, and I had to come back to like clean out his shit. We still managed to go play T-Volve, and I saw the list a couple of years later after I knew you, and I'm like, you're there, Jimmy Stewart was there. Like, those were the names that jumped out at me at neon, you know? And it's like, and those, like, that was a weird night because I was in the, everything's fine, I'm actually feeling pretty good, and there are pictures of me. I wasn't okay, you know? Because the only person whose opinion ever mattered to me died, which is terrible freedom. But that's a separate conversation.
It is a gift and a curse.
It is the worst liberating? Worst thing. Like, it's really bad. It's terrible. But that's why I am so glad we still do this weird shit. Because of moments like that. You know, just kind of the illuminating moments, for lack of a better term. But Rowan, I don't want to hold you up. Because I'm saying all this stupid shit. So
have a good night,
Thanks
y'all.
for coming, man.
Oh yeah.
Love you. And,
you too, and
see you Monday. We'll decide when we're doing the 4th anniversary. It's either going to be end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to get it
coming up.
to whatever it is, and then you'll say it's actually
No,
before.
it's actually
whatever it is.
It'll be the actual anniversary. Look,
Wait, will you win this one?
I'm a
Jules,
time
will you win?
supremacist.
Time premicist.
Okay.
All right. Night, y'all.
All right. Good night,
Good
Rowan.
night, Rowan. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Telly,
Ugh,
thank
that
you.
guy.
That guy. Can you believe how great that guy? No, amazing guy. And he fixed our sink. He just came over when they came here. He drove here to play the live stream with us, and he's walking through. He's like, "What's going on with your sink?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's got this thing." He's like, and later he's like, "You know, I've been thinking about your sink. I'm going to fix that. Motherfucker just fixed our sink." Joylene's like, "He's the best house guest ever. Come back anytime. We will feed you."
Now I'll just come clog your toilet.
Hey now. Hey
Is that because you'll be fucking it?
I mean, possibly. Oh,
I'm not saying no.
You give me a little bit too much credit. Oh, you know what? That's a great segue. You know, how about this? Maybe I'll play you guys a song, long form song.
Would
and
like
then,
that.
okay.
Would
And
like
then,
that.
Jules, I do want to hear a story.
Yeah. And by the way, for lack of a better term, thank you for sharing that story. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really interesting. I had no idea where you came from. You're just like, I know you as this weird guy with a lot of tattoos who
outside
says
of
the wrong
Philadelphia.
shit and then plays songs.
Yeah, no, there's definitely there's an erudite, you know, hiding here and all that.
I have really enjoyed getting to know some people's stories away from just Jules and I talking about geeky shit, which I also really enjoy, and becoming friends with Jules. He won't admit to it on air, but, you know.
Recording stopped.
I'm so sorry that Rowan didn't get to do that before he left. 'Cause he's so good at it.
Oh yeah.
It always timed it just right, so right. But yeah, the fucking just learning people's stories. I don't know that I've ever been more engaged in something like as a late,
Dude.
late adult than other things. Like between you and
Ron
Kyla
Smith.
and Ron,
Ron Smith
that
was
fucking
fucking amazing.
I am, dare I say, proud of that because
No, yeah, you should
we
be.
were able to sit
That's
back
a great
and,
episode. I went back and watched like the whole thing. I never
how is
do
it?
that with
Is it-
these. Oh, it's fucking great.
It's great.
No, it's
He
great.
is.
He's so yeah.
singular.
This was like the week we recorded it. I went back and I watched.
I gotta watch it again at some point. Yeah, Telly
I probably
Telly
will,
messaged
yeah.
me and like I'm 50 minutes into this shit and wow.
Right. Because you know, like you said, like you would never get. I should probably watch
Yeah.
the one with Kyla as well, because like I know her as like a monster
Fascinating.
player.
Fascinating woman. Yeah, just
So-
great. And being able to get out of the way and let people tell their story and just like occasionally, you know, lean in and it's like, could you expand on that? And then backing the fuck off.
Right.
You know?
I would suggest, if even possible, I feel like Jimmy Stewart. I think he was in the Navy.
Oh, he's
So-
got a great story. I have heard some things. He's
I
a
know
fascinating
nothing,
character.
and I love the guy. He's bigger in person.
I know
Yeah, he's a
insanely
large
tall.
gentleman.
He's a
Yeah, he's
large
tall.
he's
I
a
think
large
aren't
fella,
most of
and
the people around our height. So
yeah,
it's
most of
even
them.
weirder?
Yeah.
Telly, are you
I'm
and
6'2".
Jules?
Well, my driver's license says 6'2".
But how tall are you actually?
Probably 6'1". But I think Jimmy's a little
Are
bit
you
taller
really
than I
that
am.
tall?
Yeah.
Huh.
I always
That's how
think
you got
everybody
room
is
for all
around
those tattoos.
Yeah. Like,
'Cause-
I have very long legs. Yeah.
Because
I'm-
Yeah,
Rob
you
and I
do.
are basically the same height.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm like
you
a
and Rob.
scotch taller than Rob, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
You,
We both
you and
wear
Rob
boots,
have hair.
so-
Like
Yes,
I,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And mine
I
is
think when I
sticky
was
uppy.
when I was measured at 6'2", I also had hair, and I think I was in a pair of boots, so like kind of cheating.
All
Were you on your
But-
tippy toes?
No. But
Were
one
you
of these
wearing
days,
those Tom Cruise stilt boots?
not quite Doc Martens, maybe a
How
little
tall
bit
are you
smaller.
next to Henry Cavill, who I believe is legit 6'3"?
He's 6.
No.
He's 6'1" or 6'2", and then Ben Affleck is like 6'4".
Affleck is
Affleck is
genuinely
6'4".
Affleck
Yeah.
is huge.
tall. Affleck is a big boy.
Did you see him play Batman?
Yes, but I mean,
He's
come on.
actually too tall to play Batman. Batman is supposed to be
Batman
like
is
Adam
supposed to be
West.
6. He's supposed
He's
to be like
supposed to be
6
Adam
foot,
West.
6'1", and
Yeah,
then
6'1".
Superman's supposed to be like 6'5".
Yeah.
But it was reversed for the Snyder thing.
Hell no,
That's
I would have never in a
interesting.
million years. I would have never guessed that in a million
Affleck
years.
is-
I think
Affleck's a big
Affleck is
boy.
kind of
I-
unassuming.
I'm
in
gonna
a lot
look
of
him
his
up.
Stuff.
Yeah, because he's
And a
kinda
good director,
actor.
by the way.
He's a
But yeah.
better director than he is an actor.
I mean,
I
but
like
as-
him as an actor, but
I like him as
liked
an actor
him
too. But
in
I think he's a
Chasing Amy. I thought he was great.
I like
That's
chasing.
going back
Well, I
to
mean,
Amy.
I'm definitely a
Okay, he's 6'2", so then Cavill must be just like 6 foot.
but
No, I think he's a little.
as a
taller than
kid,
that.
like
You're a little
you don't. I
Sure.
don't. You're like Tom Cruise. I'm like Tom Cruise's normal height. Like Danny DeVito. I'm like, oh, he just is smaller than the other people on Cheers. Nah, dude, he's like 4'7".
Yeah, Danny DeVito is teeny tiny, and
he's a
Tom
tiny
Cruise is not tall.
Tom Cruise is like 5'5", 5'4", something like
Dude, I swear to God, it wasn't until the credits of Tropic Thunder that I knew it was Tom Cruise, and my mind was blown. I was like,
That is one of the
"Holy
funniest
hell."
fucking movies I've ever seen, and the fact that is what's his name? The guy who played the lead, Ben
Stiller.
Still,
Ben Stiller wrote and directed
And
it.
Justin Theroux, who also wrote Iron Man 2.
The,
You know,
the
that-
least of the Iron Men.
The worst
that
Iron
reminds
Man
me of
movie,
something, because like they were saying, well, Tropic Thunder, they could never make that today, and
Sure, you
you
could.
know, well, yeah, well,
you could,
see,
but they've
here's the
already
thing
made
now.
it.
It's bingo. So that's a joke that I've heard. Is I saw a tweet one time. It's like, they could never make Blazing Saddles today because someone would read the script and be like, "That's Blazing Saddles. They've already made it." Okay, so here's a song.
On
That's
that
pretty
note,
good.
Okay,
I'm gonna listen on YouTube because I'm an older gentleman and have to go use the restroom.
sure.
good
Okay.
luck. Let us
Honestly,
Hey,
I'm
thanks,
I'm
man.
surprised I've made it this long without having to go take a leak. Okay, so Rob likes this song. He told me he likes this song. So this is when I was in the when I was in the throes of my eating disorder. I was working 2 jobs and running 100-mile weeks, and just working myself into the ground, literally, because I'm too busy to feel feelings. So I wrote a song about basically just working myself into the ground. And because I'm such a fucking snob, originally it was called Sugar Candy Mountain, after, of course, our friendly author friend. But I was like, man, that's been done. That's a reference people will get. So it's called Kuroshi Maven. Kuroshi being the Japanese art of just working yourself to death, and a maven being someone who's very adept at these things. So, and it's rather long, so we'll see if I can get through it. Here we go. All right. Let's hope my hands don't betray me. Waking up in darkness, return when it looks the same. 7 days a week just to make ends meet. Throw on the monkey suit, hourglass, not the tie. Try to save energy for things that money can't buy. Work into the dying light. Work until the dying day. The carrot and the stick never go away. Never go away. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. Cash flow is the only reality to know. No rest for the wicked. That justifies this slog. Lucky to catch a nap in the car between jobs. Wishing into one hand, watch the other overflow. Money comes and goes, but time just goes. But time just goes. It's hard to believe things were always this way. The pieces stopped fitting. The change had a taste. The creature of habit has taken control. The ennui of adulthood is a stranglehold. Drag through the days, jump through the hoops. Everything is a blow and every day is a loop. Go through the motions, simply nod and smile. Have no fear of death, just wait a little while. Lucky to have the gig. Don't bite the hand that feeds. Food on the table is better than placards in the streets. Nose to the grindstone, running straight into the ground. There's no one to applaud if no one's around. Fortune is like glass, shatters with one mistake. The more it glitters and shines, the easier it breaks. The easier it breaks.
Very nice.
Thank you. I'm gonna post the lyrics in the chat because I'm full of myself.
Just in time. Chris just came back, and then
I was listening on the YouTube.
yeah, I know, but
I did. I did
weren't
make
here.
it back in time.
And then, you know.
And I changed
Oh
my
man,
lighting
there's a limit on it. Whatever. So let me just real quick. Some lines that I'm super proud of. My mom used to say to me, "You can wish in one hand and shit in the other. Which one's gonna get full first?"
Yeah.
Right. So wishing into one
The wish hand.
Yeah.
It's a
wishing into
classic
one
for a
hand.
reason.
Watch the other one overflow. Money comes and goes, but time just goes. So.
No, the wish one overflows because of the secret. The secret's real. It's
Yeah,
like if you don't, it's the same principle.
What
as-
if you're wishing for shit?
Well, that's kind of what you do when you do the opposite. Where like if you feel like if you don't talk about a thing, it doesn't exist. I'm sorry, I'm getting into something else. It's getting around that time. We're around the 2-hour mark, and I'm getting a little, loose.
All right. So
Is
the
Scooty
looseness.
feeling this?
Tell me.
No, Scooty does not feel. Scooty explicitly feels the other way.
Let's talk penises. Tell me a story.
Oh man,
You don't have to do this on the air,
Oh,
man.
we can do this another time if you're.
Yeah, we don't have to tell dick stories.
You know, let's
if
do
you
it.
don't
Let's do it
want
on
to.
Monday.
we're not doing it Monday.
After Rowan leaves. I like.
I completely forgot that I said I would tell this story.
Don't tell it.
While you were on. No. I do want to tell it. I just there's a way to tell it to make it funny and not kind of just like.
No, we can make this a part 2. We can do a
sad.
part 2. I'll come
Okay,
back.
all right.
Let's do part 2.
So you
Come
come
back
back
for
for that.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, and that's an
Yeah.
excuse.
I'll play some
Yeah.
more songs. I mean, we're at the 2-hour mark. We'll play some more songs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Telly. Oh, Telly.
I
Oh,
can go.
sweet summer child.
Sweet.
Oh,
sweet.
my brother in
sunshine.
Christ, Telly. No,
I mean,
no,
if
no,
it
no.
really picks up at the 3, I can
It
hang.
really does. That really is honestly like Chris is. He doesn't want to admit it, but like
I
around
have
hour,
admitted it.
Around, but around hour 3, that's when the show starts. We should speaking of Hitler, we should all do stimulants. We should all do Luftwaffe crank. That's like biker crank.
No crank. No, thank you.
No
No.
crank. No,
No
thanks.
crank. No thanks. I've got my disposable vape pen just waiting for June to hit.
Disposable vape pen.
Let me ask you this, Jules.
Similarly
are you
shaped and sized,
I'm
real thin.
It wasn't called
full
flour,
of juice at the end.
but I'm a flour guy. What's your preferred mode?
Flour, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I.
I genuinely don't know what you guys are talking about.
Like the
Doesn't matter,
actual,
Chris.
the actual.
You don't want no
weed.
part of this shit, Dewey Cox.
Because
Dewey-
they. So because like when I
don't
stopped
want no
smoking
part of
weed,
this.
It turns all your bad feelings into good feelings.
dude, science. I was like, what the fuck's shatter? Like, what is shatter? They make this just called shatter now. It's like you light and like butter. You like put it in a crack pipe and you light it with a spoon or something.
Get
and it's
that
like,
shit out of
it
here,
gets
man.
you really fucking high.
It really does. I've done dabs.
Dude, dabs get you like that.
Dabs,
Like, talk about
dabs
breaking.
will ruin your night.
Dude, like because I have a heavy fucking tolerance when I'm smoking,
Yeah,
and like
me
dabs
too.
will break. Dabs
Yeah,
will
dabs
break through
the
that.
shit. It's like
That's funny.
One of the times where Chris, I don't know if have you ever done pot stuff?
My pot story is short but amusing. The girl that I dated before Joylene, so this is like 90s.
Pre-girl reference.
Yeah, so 96, 97, I was but a child of 24, and I was 24 and she was 31. She got me
Nice.
to smoke the marijuana no less than 3 times, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
That's my whole story.
Yeah.
I'm not a smoker, like a cigarette smoker, so
Are you
pulling
a
burning
joker?
shit into my. I could be a midnight toker if that.
I
means
am
alcohol.
a midnight toker in like 15 minutes. So
I've had a decent amount of alcohol for the evening, and that's my interest.
okay,
But like
that
but
can
like,
count as toking.
Sure.
I think.
Burning shit into my lungs just didn't.
I
tried.
see. So I do the vaporize thing now. Like this.
Do you
can
vaporize
just,
the flour?
you just put the thing.
The-
you put a thing in the thing, and then you
I
turn
will
the thing
say
on, and then you
my
breathe it in. And it's
understanding
fine.
as a later adult person has changed drastically. Where it used to be like pot is the devil, and alcohol, to quote Jon Stewart, is magically delicious.
Well,
and now
it would be legal if it was okay. So
And I now understand that pot doesn't appear to do a whole lot to you health wise long term, and
really.
alcohol's fucking poison. Like I
it's
realize
literal
this.
poison.
Yeah.
you're
But
killing
like
yourself.
pot doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
So
No,
Well,
I get
'cause
it.
when you're
Kinda
first
wish it
doing
did.
it,
yeah.
but the first couple times, or like the early, like it's really disorienting. It's really jarring. And it does feel like this, like it can be sensory overload.
Yeah.
Whereas alcohol is kind of like the slow, if you can temper it, it's like.
Yeah.
It's like something where you can kind of like be on top of it, whereas like things like edibles or smoking, like you don't know how hard you're gonna get hit.
You eat the wrong section of a not very well mixed batch of brownies. Like they don't mix the oil or whatever in evenly, and you get like the corner where they have the most. That's your day. I mean, that's your day, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember how to play. I have a whole song about sobriety. I'll put it under my hands for the next time.
Okay.
It is funny because like a lot of that stuff, like the stuff that used to sound, again, Jules and I have had this conversation, but it's so weird that stuff from 30 years ago that was tinfoil hat conspiracy shit, 70% of it's just true.
It's just true.
Oh, dude,
It's
I
just
was
true.
reading today the whole like all of the UFO sightings from
Yeah.
like the 80s is like totally like
They
stealth
came out
bombers.
and said, yeah, that's or them just saying, yeah, it's totally aliens. We know
Right.
about aliens.
We've
Nobody
known
cared.
about them for a
Dude,
while. Roswell, it wasn't exactly that, but basically that.
I
yeah.
just
But-
learned about those drones, the like missiles that like they don't explode. It's like a freaking propeller comes out and like slices through people. And
Jesus
like that's how
Christ.
they got they got some Taliban or
Fuck.
That's
leader
like
or
some
whatever.
Tony Stark shit.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it's like it's
Now,
because
now
they
to
were
be
able to-
fair, to quote
To be fair.
Jules, but it's brown people, so it's okay.
It is. I mean, like, look at the first Iron Man movie. Like, Tony Stark does. He does.
He commits war crimes.
He does
he's
war
like,
crimes.
He's like, you sold my shit, and then it blew up people, but then I got blown up? Oh,
Fuck,
no, Bear.
I'm gonna create a weapon of mass destruction and
That I can
go
fly
to
in.
and go to Afghanistan and just shoot up a town. Yeah, my targeting software works this time, but what about in Civil War when I got the shit kicked out of me by Captain America and the Winter Soldier and I have to eyeball it to close a missile silo? What about that, Telly?
I mean, when we need the drop SEAL Team 11 in to catch, we got him. We got Osama.
We got Obama.
We got Obama. You
That
know
was
what
a
though?
hell of a
Listen,
slip.
if we go to the darkest timeline, that is
Hey.
it's totally possible.
I mean, this is assuming we're not already there. I think
mean-
the slow burn that we're experiencing right now
Yeah.
is a very nightmarish
Just- I
crawl
swear, if
towards
I-
a cliff.
If I could go back to 2016 with the knowledge I have now, not only would I be rich as fuck, but also, but even outside of the political stuff, like so many just personal, like,
Oh my god! I mean,
have
8
more
years
time.
is fucking. It's so long.
My God,
Telly,
it's been
Telly,
8
how
years.
how
Jesus.
old are you?
42.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm 30 something.
Okay.
How old am I, Chris?
Don't you have a birthday next month?
This
month? This month?
In
So you're
3 weeks.
almost not Jesus age anymore.
Okay, 33. That's it. Yeah. So for me, obviously, every 8 years is a different version of myself because
All your skin is gone.
Yeah, because I shed. Yeah. Well, that's actually true.
Yeah, I know.
Like you shed all your
Yeah,
I mean,
so
not
that's
like
why-
a snake, but
That's
you
why I
know,
said it.
it's dust.
Because I mean, Chris is definitely Gen X.
no, Chris,
I'm
I
a-
said it.
I'm a
No, I said it.
millennial. So are you in the millennial thing or Gen Z?
No, I'm a millennial. Like I'm firmly. I'm born in 1990. Like I am in the
Okay.
middle of being a millennial.
Okay, so I was
And are
82.
you an elder millennial like
I
Eliza
am.
Schlesinger?
Yeah,
I think
so
I am technically.
when
I am.
I
No,
wrote
he
my,
is.
I am.
when
Are
I
you?
wrote my master's thesis, I did it.
Ooh,
on-
look who has a
Ooh,
pen.
I'm a video game nerd, and so I wrote it on the gamification of education. And I
Points. A point system.
right, Duolingo's making their money, but that was
Dua
where
Lipa?
I
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's where I learned the term digital nomad, which is basically for the generation, and Chris, you would be in here as well, the
I'm old.
generation that, grew up with the Dewey Decimal System, and
I do remember
the
the Dewey Decimal
but
System.
then
too.
became adept at using computers and technology and the internet.
No,
So
that's
like-
where I fall off.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I
Well,
was
dude,
born.
you're doing this right now.
But,
So
yeah, but this was beaten into him by Rob and Rowan over months during
Rob put
quarantine.
so much time getting me online that I paid him even though he didn't ask me to pay him. It was over an hour of him being very patient. I'm like, by the way, what's your freelance rate? And he told me. I'm like, why don't you go check your PayPal? And his response wasn't thank you or you don't have to do that. He just said, I wasn't going to ask. I'm like, I know. You and my wife have been friends for a very long time. But
no, I throw money at the Venmo or the PayPal. During the pandemic, I threw a nice chunk.
Same.
I need to do that again. Just
Are you
kinda
trying to get it
support the
back?
cause.
Are you?
Yeah, it's like the lottery.
I threw
Like
a
if
lot
you
of
put
money,
enough
I
money
could
in,
really
you're
use
gonna
it
get
back.
some out.
It could really, if you could throw that back to me, that'd be great. There was a weird period. I don't know if I should talk about this on here, but there was a period in time where we made some money off the VOM. It didn't last, but there was like a little chunk of time where every week
Yeah.
you'd
People
get
got
a few
some.
bucks.
People got their Trump bucks, and they were
Well, the pandemic was a different time too. Did
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's still happening.
well,
No,
COVID's
it's
still out there,
totally
yeah.
done now.
Gaslighting doesn't
um,
exist.
And this doesn't have to be a conversation for here, but I am, now that we're kind of in this loop, I am kind of curious. Did the Maryland Arts Council thing, did that drop off just because, did it drop off at all? And I mean, because I haven't heard about it in a while.
I don't know.
but
I
know
think
they
it
just
John. I
stopped-
think John Patton gets the festival that he books gets a grant from them.
My entire understanding as far as it related to the VOM was just they sponsored it for a certain period of time and then they no longer did.
Yeah,
And I don't think that's- I don't think
they're
that's
just
out of school
sponsoring like
information.
live stuff now.
Yeah.
They're still like around and sponsoring.
I think it was one of those things
but-
like where you'd hear people talking about, because of what we're all going through, here's this thing. And then I never got the whiff of anything nefarious or obnoxious.
Oh, no,
about
no,
it.
no, no.
Just that, you know how it is. Something gets sponsored for X amount of time, like a
Then it
podcast you
doesn't.
like has
Right.
Manscaped, and then it doesn't have Manscaped.
and it's
that's
like, oh,
why-
I wanted you to talk about your balls.
Dude, that plagiarism video is just rife with it.
It's so good.
What is it you guys are talking
So okay, so it's this. Honestly, I think you would be fascinated by it. It's this video. It's a 3-hour long form documentary.
It's 4 hours long.
It's closer to 4.
Don't be so sure. That's a lot.
And the guy, he's basically doing a long video essay on plagiarism on YouTube and the parallels of just plagiarism in general.
He
But
had
the
a
short-
video that got plagiarized.
but it's basically
Was it that video?
No, that one probably is. But with YouTube views, people, sponsored by Manscaped, and if you go on YouTube, it's all AI read, and they're just basically
Come
reading
to the
it's
place
crap.
to do the thing and buy
Honestly,
this product.
When I'm stupid, I got this new phone and it was double tap to install, and I'm like, double tap what? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? And then I go to because I'm 42 now. I can't keep up with it either. But but I go on YouTube and it's like blah blah blah, and it was totally AI generated bollocks.
Yeah.
But it served its purpose. But a lot of it'll be like, oh, here's the okay, like Chris, this might track a little more. Like, okay,
I'm Chris.
Okay, yes. Imagine. I don't know why
I'm
that
Chris.
got me.
Or I could do my Tony Curtis. I am Spartacus.
Imagine
I am Chris.
Imagine like watching a video with crappy edits.
I'm already
and
lost.
they are reading the Wikipedia article for episode 2 of The Mandalorian, but they're just like changing a few words here and there, but
Right.
they're writing it worse.
Right.
And you're like, I already know this
From
I've
someone
seen-
else's point of view. Like like that's
it's
my
like-
favorite.
You mean like
this-
You mean like why did Batman have the falling out with Nightwing? Like occasionally there will be one of
It's
those.
like,
Yeah.
This little green monster uses the force power to defeat the bad guy, and you're like, what? But it's like then you look at it and it's like 3 million views, sponsored by Squarespace, and it's like, dude, if I could, and I said this during the pandemic too. I was like, listen, if I could fart in a bag and shake my ass and get thousands of dollars, I would.
You take
you
it.
should try it.
The Jewish students at the yeshiva, they asked me if I was going to have an OnlyFans, and I did consider it for a split second. Dude, this just have the woman from The Sopranos. She's in her 50s. She paid off her mortgage in 5 minutes.
Edie Falco.
No,
No,
not
no,
the good one. I know who you mean. The one who played Christopher's girlfriend.
Hold on.
I've only seen the first.
And by the way, she's one
Episode?
of the COVID deniers.
Oh God.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really
It's true.
fun.
Drea Di Matteo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
okay,
one of the
okay.
deniers. Yeah.
I
Although
mean,
you're
looking
kind of
at her, I
missing
mean,
out.
I'd
The
smash.
Sopranos is an all-time show, but
It's all time. It's one of the shows of all time.
it's quite a show. It's a very good show.
Oh
Alright.
God, the video that just came up says Soprano star slams cancel culture.
Oh, great.
She's the
I'm
one.
Into a microphone, right?
honestly, to the point earlier, I didn't know, and I'm gonna butcher her name, and I don't give a fuck. Chea Chichara, the woman who's like trending right now because she's like so anti-trans that it's coming out of her nose, that is greatly responsible for that poor child losing their life.
God, what?
Wait, did like a suicide thing?
Yeah,
I don't.
I do have some issue with the word police in that regard, but because I know that and the only reason is because the algorithm's demonetizing people who say suicide. It's like, well, how are you supposed to talk about difficult subjects
Yeah.
if you can't?
Especially like with the thing that happened
Yeah.
like 5 days ago, where a guy did a thing.
Yeah,
And
well,
then said why he was doing it, and then everybody was like, "We should talk about mental health," and it's like, no, that's not what what's happening. What's happening? So yeah, it's like there is as we would call they're coming for me as we would call an epidemic, but I think
That's
that is
not what that was.
okay,
I know
so
what you're talking about.
a trans
the
teenager
siren?
died after being attacked by other kids in Oklahoma, and this person whose name I don't even know, and honestly, I don't even want to give her the power.
Is it the libs of TikTok lady?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just horrible person.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
I guess when we
just
become
spewing.
I just don't like to
spewing
give oxygen
fucking,
to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just,
Right.
But just spewing fucking hate. And then, she got roasted on an interview. That's why people are talking about her.
Yeah, that's not gonna fix it.
but
But
it's,
that's not gonna do it. That's just gonna. That's like
Gives them power.
It's fanning the fucking flames.
It is.
It's like this shit with Trump. Like, even though it is like there are legal proceedings happening, he's not losing votes.
Nikki Haley staying in the race, just hoping that he gets put behind bars.
It doesn't matter. Even as a write-in candidate, he would still get more votes than her.
And that blows my mind. I
It's
just
fucking
can't wrap
from
my head
jail.
around that.
That is impossible.
No,
Yeah, I
that
know
would,
it
it
is.
would definitely
I-
happen. Yeah.
That's
No,
for-
no, but you know what I mean. Like that's
Yeah,
impossible,
yeah.
And it would
Like
totally happen.
you couldn't write it. You could not write this, and if you did write it, it would. it would be like, that's too arch,
Dude,
That's
when I
too
was-
that's too cliche. This wouldn't actually happen.
When
There
I
may
was
be
in,
no saving us from this.
oh no,
No,
there's no coming back.
We're fucked. Yeah.
when
No,
when
but,
I was in college,
that's why we're doing a live
Bush-
stream. Yeah.
So Bush for his second term did a speech at my
Give him a
college,
chance.
right? And it wasn't even like my hometown is not terribly Republican. It's not, but there's like it's kind of a mix down the
There's
middle.
a conservative bent.
There's a conservative wing of it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But never to, and my upbringing was never to that extent, right? And like Bush, like when I was in college, it's like, this is, I was like, it can't get any worse than this. We've got this, fool, like, faux pas, blah, blah, all these policies, Dick Cheney, blah, blah, blah. They put snipers on the roof. And I was like, what the hell, snipers on the roof for Bush, whatever. I thought that was as like low as it could have possibly gotten in terms of
Oh no, that's
like,
just a given.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
Marin had snipers on the roof
Yeah, when Obama came.
when he interviewed Obama. Like there were snipers on the roof
Well, I guess,
of his
yeah,
house and across the street from his house.
So I guess, it tracks, but I guess, and that's to the point. I think Chris, you were there. It was like, have things always been this bad, and I just didn't know it. Or
No.
it is getting worse, but like
It is the
It's intensifying. It's been this bad, but like
it's always been bad.
There's
Jules,
too
just-
much risk
just-
of the status quo changing because things are changing so fast.
Yeah.
So people are realizing like the systemic like flaws,
Just
and
through
so
the-
then
yeah.
things are having they're clamping down on it.
Just
I
by
mean,
benefit of having been around a little bit longer, I can say that there have always been assholes, horrible,
Yeah.
racist, anti-women, anti-everything,
famous like
all of it.
influencer
The
type. They've-
difference,
Yeah.
the difference is after 2016, they felt open to be free to be you and me if you're a racist like me.
Right.
That is the biggest difference. They used to know on some level that they needed to stay under their rock.
yep.
And now there is a car that every once in a while I send a picture of to Jules with 5 InfoWars stickers on it, including on like the door of the car.
The tail
Yeah.
light of
Uh-huh.
the car.
It's
Okay,
just
okay.
fucking.
No,
They're like, guys,
We get
can
it.
come- yeah.
We get it.
No, I'm
so
laughing
that is
just
the
because,
difference. That is the biggest difference. There have always been. I didn't realize.
They are turning the frogs gay, though.
Yeah, I did not realize that there were that many because they were kept under their rock
right.
by something.
Oh, dude, Pennsylvania and like their Confederate flags is like, you're in the North, right?
Dude, West Virginia was carved out of Virginia because of the Missouri Compromise. So they needed to create a non-slave state when they created a slave state. And boy, I've never seen so many Confederate flags as I've seen driving
Because
through
that
fucking
becomes a- you know what, though?
Wardensville, West Virginia.
I could drive you not too far from my house.
I
Joel.
know.
Though, I guess
Maybe lock them
that-
doors and turn them lights down low.
I don't, and I feel like it's, for lack of a better term, it's just kind of like, it's just, I'm just like cultural. It's like, I was like, oh, my granddaddy was from the South. No, I think it just becomes like a cultural thing. It's like, I identify with racists.
Yeah.
I identify
It
with
is a cultural thing.
separationists.
Yeah.
But no, just,
Unfortunately, at this point, it's a choice.
there's a great video of just the reason I was chortling earlier is like the InfoWars guy, Craig Jones, who's this hilarious jiu-jitsu guy, chokes out the whatever the guy's name is, the
Alex
the-
Jones?
Yeah, the Sandy Hook denier.
Yeah,
fucking
Alex Jones,
scum-ass
yeah.
shitbag.
The guy who actually had it, like that, you got a judgment against him for that.
Yeah,
And
that
again,
was nice.
do these
Yeah.
people even pay? Like they don't pay. They file bankruptcy. Trump just came out like he doesn't have the money to pay the fines.
Of course he doesn't.
He's never had the money. to
None
pay
of
the
them.
fine.
Elon
But
Musk
then-
doesn't have this money.
But then, like, if you don't have the money to pay the fine, then isn't there some other kind of punishment? But it's like I don't.
Right.
I still can't wrap my
I
head
mean,
around.
I
it.
mean, some kind of jail.
I'd think. Just personally.
Yes, you in the back.
I think we should just bring back the French method.
And by the way, I think you should be allowed to sit in the front. Just so you know.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
just
god.
fixed it. Guys, we fixed it.
I feel like I'm one of the good ones, so I'm so articulate.
Oh, dude,
You've
we're reading
called me
Othello
one of the
right
good
now.
ones, you piece of shit.
You are one of the good ones.
I'm an ally, and I need to tell you that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, the way they've weaponized certain words, it's like,
Like
there's nothing
woke.
worse than
Oh,
being
dude, woke.
an ally. Like, I don't know, like, like people who can't
Social
defend themselves.
justice warrior.
That was
Yeah,
the
Is a
first one.
derogatory term.
I know. When what
It's
you're
like,
trying to
oh,
do is help.
why would you want
But,
social
okay,
justice?
Hold up, though. Hold up. If I can just like, because I sometimes I play both sides of shit. I feel like there is a certain extent, and again, this is listen. There's a certain extent where it does become off-putting to the people in the middle.
Oh God, I have
Sure.
befriended people whose politics match mine, and they're so fucking irritating that I can't stand it anymore,
Right.
and I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
I mean
there's
like
nothing-
over policing and like virtue signaling is a fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's just the right has co-opted it to say, "Oh, you think that like Black Lives Matter or trans
Yeah.
people are people or whatever the
was-
fuck, you're
Right.
virtue signaling."
was in a
or
bar-
oh, you think Palestinian lives matter?
Yeah.
You're virtue signaling. It's like,
in
no.
a personal take on it, I was in a bar in 2019 because it's before shutdown, and I was in a group
be
of a
nice.
bunch of people I kind of knew, and everybody was kind of hammered, and I accidentally misgendered someone, and I felt terrible about it. The person couldn't have been nicer about it. The person's friend was an asshole about it.
That.
Because I didn't mean to hurt anyone, and I did everything I could. Like, I am so sorry. That's not what I meant at all. Drinking, I don't mean. And that person was like, don't worry about it. And their friend just couldn't fucking let it go.
Yeah.
Why is it that I feel like white people get unnecessarily angry for
What do you mean
On
white people?
behalf of others, yes.
like okay all
I
of
see what
my
you did
all
there,
of
fools.
all of my Spanish students I've had for the last
Hey, some of us
decade,
just don't see color, you know.
hey, that's right.
Rob,
All
yeah,
my
Rob's
Spanish
not
students
here, man.
Rob's not here. Oh, that's a poor Rob joke. Okay. Wow. All my Spanish speaking students have not heard Latinx and don't like it.
Latinx, I call it.
Yeah, and but it's like that becomes like word police of
It's
like,
a weird thing. Yeah.
Japanese culture. They're like, all my Mexican students are like, dude, Day of the Dead, let's party. Well, you can't do that. That's cultural appropriation. Japanese, you can't wear a kimono. Japan's like, dude, come on in. Anime and kimonos and sushi, let's go.
I have
I
a katana
remember-
right here.
I remember maybe 15, 20 years ago, we became friends with a slightly older gay couple, and one of the
Nice.
guys was like 10 or 15 years older, and we were talking about, we were trying to say the right thing. This was when gay marriage became a big thing, and his response was, I remember the big thing is we didn't want to be like the straights. Like, we wanted to have our own thing.
Yeah.
We didn't want anything to do with that
Culture like is a
Yeah.
thing.
Uh-huh.
And I mean that's kind of what the people we've been talking about want to not have be a
Right.
thing. Or
Yeah.
they want it to be just like a purposefully homogenized thing. There's a
Yeah.
difference between China being a 3,000 or 4,000 year old fucking country with like the history that goes back that far, and maybe it's older, we don't fucking know, and then them having a homogenized culture because they're just an old fucking established country, and like there was some isolationism in there, but like it
Yeah.
kind
But
of
they've been
just-
at it a long
but it's
time.
but it just kind of ended up that way. But like America is allegedly the fucking melting pot sort of bullshit that we're fed, but then like if you look at the history, like it is obvious that like they have fought tooth and nail against that, and
Yeah.
it happened in spite of the people that are doing all this shit, and they've always been here and they will always be here. It's just now information
need
flows
less of
so
a
much
platform
faster.
again.
Right.
And so, we can see them for what they are sooner,
I can't wrap my head around people just being so brazenly bigoted.
Yeah, I say that to my kids or like other parents. I say, things are, for all the problems, 94% better now than when I was a kid.
Yep.
But every once in a while, something will come up.
Yep.
And one of them is if you say something really shitty, like those people say, there's a good chance you're going to get punched in the face.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's a genuine benefit, as someone who has been punched in the face for something they did wrong, there is a genuine benefit to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. People in Baltimore act like they've never been punched in the fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, you need a sock in the mouth sometimes.
Dude, this kid, like, a person came up to my school today and tried to break into someone's Kia, and
Jesus.
we caught the kid. Someone was like, "Hey, get away from the cars!" Blah blah blah. And I started to, and they're like, "Don't go after him." And I was so ready to throw my life away on some petty,
Yeah.
like. But it's so this lives a TikTok woman. She gets on Twitter, which is just an absolute cesspool, and basically goes, well, I'm going to check and see if like the filter's working or not. And she's like, Ellen Page is a woman, Dylan Mulvaney's a man, and like basically dead naming everyone. And it's like, you're letting, why are people
I feel
so
like
nasty?
I feel like we can carry this on into part 2 because
Yeah.
unfortunately I am going to have to log off very soon. So
Well, I'm going to play out then.
oh, okay.
Cancel Chris Eric.
Cancel Chris Eric. He did it. He knows what he did.
This one is apropos.
Telly, thank you so much for coming on. I really
Dude.
appreciate it.
All right,
I know.
let me get you.
All right. Well, let's Telly, play us out with a thing, and then that'll be the warm close. We had a cold open, and we'll have a real warm
Lulz,
closing.
if you're ending after his song, I will stick for the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
then I will
just do
definitely
that.
stay for that.
Okay. Rather apropos, and I should probably eat. Okay, here we go. Fiddlesticks, man, some fiddlesticks. Here we go. Bop. How much worse can it get? This comedy of errors isn't over yet. What's the next thing to go wrong? You'd rather not know, but you won't wait too long. That's unfair, you understand. Life's too short to be as sad as I am. Why am I left unloved? There's no lotus without mud. Will this pain ever heal? Put your shoulder to the wheel. That's unfair, can you not see? If I lose more, then nothing will be left of me. Everything's going to fucking hell in a handbasket, gentlemen, but I love you and I'm thankful for your time tonight, and we'll do this again.
I esteem you highly as well. Telly, thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have to do a part 2.
Totally.
Dare I say, to quote Jules, open invitation.
Oh, totally. Thank you.
Is that fair?
I'll give you guys a little bit of a breather, so it's not
Blues isn't
absence-
going to answer.
Oh no, I thought I was unmuted. Yes, good, and
agree.
yes, and I agree with you completely.
So I'll see you guys Monday.
Okay, well
All
I'll
right.
be there.
All right. Peace.
Good night.
I may
Good night,
be there.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching this. If you watch this,
Bye.
Sorry,
Bye,
Mom.
Carrie. Bye,
Bye,
Carrie.
Carrie.
We know.
Bye,
Thanks,
Carrie.
thank you.
Thanks,
Goodbye.
Thanks, Carrie, dude. All right, peace out, guys.
Bye,
See
bye,
ya.
bye.